there is a concept of Pareto principle. So it says that 80% of our result comes from 20% of our efforts. This is usually used in businesses, that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers. So if you apply it in our preparation, so I felt that this 20% of my high yielding topics are something that give me a huge result, disproportionate result. And this was my X factor that actually helped me score consistently between the range of 110 to 130, which was a very comfortable margin, sir. Manner of the interview is about conversation. What kind of conversation you are able to elicit, and whether you are able to hold a good conversation. Slowly you will realize that if you are able to cultivate that emotional resilience, if you are able to emotionally detach yourself from the results, then it becomes a process. Then entire thing that you are doing becomes a process. You focus on the process, you do not worry about the result. A schedule which would have every hour the idea of whatever I will do in the coming day, I'll have it earlier jotted down, that this is 9 to 10 I will be doing this, 10 to 11 I will be doing this, 11 to 12 I will be doing this. At this point of time where around 70-80 days are left, you have to focus on consolidation, so that when the time arrives, you are able to revise multiple times within the limited time frame.
Hello everyone. So a warm welcome to all of you. So today we have with us Wasim, who is our foundation General Studies student, who has scored 157 rank in the recently conducted Civil Services Examination. And so very congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, and it's a double happiness for us because you are part of our foundation program. And this is not the first time you are bringing the result second time. Yes. Last year also you got rank 281. Okay, so and this year you got 157. That is a wonderful achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so we would like to have a conversation regarding your journey and so your preparation strategy. So I'm sure which will be very much helpful to many of our students as well as those who are watching online. See, the most important part of his journey is he has given 5 times interview consecutively, and he has successfully cleared 2 times, and so, that makes his journey more special, because it's not very easy to consistently perform and consistently come out of the failure, and again that so going back and do well and clear, and that requires a lot of confidence and so a lot of hard work. So that's really a wonderful achievement. So to begin with, I want to understand, so your background and your graduation. By graduation you are a doctor who has been working in the entire so preparation time also. And what made you consider this UPSC preparation, because it's it's not that easy choice, so what made you decide about this?
So I come from Muzaffarpur in Bihar, and I did my MBBS from Vardhaman Mahavir Medical College and Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. And so in MBBS training, you have a public service orientation throughout your preparation and through the medical training itself. So that public service orientation was always there, and but in the training period itself, I realized that the scope of a doctor to provide services is somewhat limited, and there is this platform of civil services which provides a huge opportunity where you can expand the scope of public service and where you can bring changes in the life of the thousands and thousands of people. And along with that, it provides you a sense of it provides you a platform where you can live up to your highest potential, sir. So there is the theory by Maslow about self-actualization. So this is something that connected with me, sir. and that actually persuaded me to go for civil services, sir.
Okay. So when did you decide about civil services?
So I was in my college days itself that I decided that I have to prepare for civil services, but I was not sure whether I should first pursue PG or should I directly jump into this preparation. But in the internship, I had to take a call, and finally I decided that I'll be pursuing a civil services examination, give my full attention to it, and then the full-on preparation started from my internship. So.
Okay, okay. So because you are from Safdarjung Hospital, Delhi, and that itself is a so big achievement to get into that. And after so getting into that, and usually people would want to pursue so much higher study and go for much specialization, and so to enter into the civil service and consistently perform that, that's so really it takes guts. Yes. Okay. So once you decided to prepare for civil services, so you took a foundation course here, and so you are part of the General Studies Foundation program. So how was your experience of foundation? And I want you to share your so thoughts regarding the necessity of going through this foundation course.
Sir, when I decided for that I'll be preparing for this examination, I searched for various institutes, and I searched and compared what all various institutes were offering. And at that point of time, VisionIAS was doing very good in terms of online presence, online classes, and everything. The portal was very excellent. So also there was flexibility with a lot of batches. The options were available. So finally, I decided that I'll be going with VisionIAS. And after that, sir, as far as necessity of the foundation course is concerned, what I realized after doing the foundation course and when you are later into the phase of the preparation, that the foundation course of the civil services examination or the coachings that you take in NEET or JEE preparation, they have differences. Both have different expectations that a candidate should have. In NEET or JEE, whatever is being taught in the class, they might appear directly into your examination, and you might be able to solve the questions directly. But that is not the case with the foundation course anywhere else, in here institute or in anywhere else. Yeah. So what the foundation course is all about, that it actually builds your foundation. Yes. A foundation is nothing. There's no structure above it that you can see, and there's no productive thing that you can make out of it. So it gives you a structured guidance. It makes you aware about all the subjects. It makes you aware about what to read, what not to read. Also, sir, foundation course is very much important because the way of approaching our content is very different from university or graduation papers and in civil services, sir. Yes. So this foundation course actually trains you to approach your content, approach your and define your skills, which are actually required for the civil services examination. And that you should understand, especially those who are doing their foundation course right now, that you should have the clarity of why you are doing the foundation course and what limitation it would have, what else you would have to do apart from this. So that might help, sir.
Yes. So even I remember, I even tell this in my class also. So in UPSC notification, there is a line. Okay, so particularly when they describe the mains examination, so that the questions are of the nature that any candidate who is having any general awareness would be able to answer this without any kind of specialized study. That line is mentioned. Okay, so and so that basically means that if at all you are a very so aware person, very educated person, you would not need any kind of specialized study. So, but the reality is to understand the scope of the syllabus and to so develop a very structured manner of so preparation and that clarity. So that foundation will give you that so path, right? So we are very happy that you're able to get benefited out of that. And so other than that, so once you start your preparation, so you started your foundation and then you focused on completing this general studies, and then you had to choose a optional subject also. And during this entire part, so a large part of it comes through your self-study. So which is actually the necessity of this examination. So people think that once you are in the classroom and they expect the present generation, so the Gen Z generation, they expect every effort to be done by the teachers itself. And that is actually impossible. And so the 90% of the effort which is required for anyone to clear this examination comes from self-study. What you study in the classroom, you take it back and you assess and you revise, make your notes if it is wherever it is required, and then integrate the current affairs and then bring it back to the mentors, teachers. They will guide you. So how was your journey in this, so self-preparation along with the foundation course? How did it go? And after that?
Sir, parallelly with the foundation course, various subjects were being covered. We had class notes, we have the materials that were being provided for self-study. What I did was, I was approaching it subject-wise. So, sir, there is one fundamental difference, I think that made difference in my journey, was that I was, so there are two approaches to clear this exam. One approach is that you keep prelims and mains integrated, and other is that prelims is different, mains is different.
Okay.
I followed the second approach.
Okay.
And I made up my mind. I analyzed it, and I made up my mind that I'll follow the second approach. So right from the foundation time itself, I ensured that whatever is being taught in the class or the materials that we have, I'm able to segregate it into prelims and mains. So for prelims, I would have separate notes. For mains, I would have separate notes.
Okay.
Prelims resources are also different, mains resources are also different.
Okay.
For example, for polity, Lakshmikant is the standard book that you read for prelims examination, but you cannot write mains answers directly from Lakshmikant, or maybe some help you can get, but not the precise content that you require.
Yes.
So, having this mindset initially, sir, I did my notes preparation for all those subjects and had separate notes for all those subjects for mains and prelims. And I did a lot of analysis for both prelims and mains, refer to multiple resources because there is a resource flood in the market. So you have to choose resources which fits in. Try to make notes. I extensively used online platforms, OneNote and Microsoft Word, and there is a Flexel app which is for reading PDFs. So these resources, I tried to organize things, and I tried to make notes.
So you did this during your foundation preparation or after that?
Sir, at times it becomes difficult, but I had this mindset from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay, if the time permits, whatever the time permits, I'll ensure that my notes are slowly getting segregated, so that whenever I attempt tests for prelims or I attempt tests for mains, I would have the clarity that what notes to read. Yes. Otherwise, it becomes very bulky and difficult to segregate. Your times get wasted, sir, in that process.
Nice. Yes. So Wasim, actually, that reminds me, so the strategy for this examination is very much personalized.
Yes, sir.
What works for one may not work for others. We have to choose that what is required for us according to the strength, according to the so your mindset. We have to do that, and you had done that wonderfully. So very good. So that is in terms of so general preparation which you shared with us. Good. So let's go through the different stages and let's try to understand so how exactly you are able to perform that and what is your strategy over there. So starting from prelims, so I want to understand, like, because you are the one who has consistently cleared prelims. Yes, okay, so and that's a really good inspiration for many. So because for many candidates who start to prepare for the prelims and particularly those first timer and those who are giving their second attempt and all, so उनके मन में ये बहुत ही बड़ा सा doubt रहता है whether I'm doing sufficiently or not. So as a faculty, even we try to push them, so there's nothing you can do to, so prepare 100%. You have to, so start practice, and giving the examination is more important. But, so there's always something. But you're able to do that consistently and show that it's not just about, so how much you read, it's more about the mindset. So can you share with us, like what is your strategy for prelims and what made you, so what is something which made you clear this consecutively 5 times?
Sir, for prelims, there are multiple stages in which your preparation should be divided. First, that you should know the syllabus, which is very often repeated thing, but the problem with the syllabus is it is very concise, and you are not the ones who are starting now, they are not able to understand what all comes in the syllabus. So what I did was I searched for some online content, and I found that there are a lot of micro listing of the topics which are there available for each subject. I picked that, and then I realized that the extent of the topics that could be asked from each subject, that actually provided me a sense of completeness, to say that these all topics are something that would be able to give me 80-90% of the content. Then, given that list of the topics, I started subject-wise, started getting my content from multiple resources, and then collecting the content, and also not running after perfection. So there's no perfect notes that you can make. Just have 2 to 3 resources. One is the classroom notes that you already have. Other is the materials that are being provided. They are very good. And 1 or 2 more resources you can follow. Build your notes, your own notes. In the notes part, I'll be telling you separately, telling the candidates separately. After I completed my notes, or had a sense of completion that 80-90% of the notes have been completed, I extensively analyzed PYQs, sir. And in PYQs, apart from the subject-wise analysis that is everywhere, that is available, what I did was I picked some high-yielding areas, sir. There are some topics which are often repeated, which are often, you can see every 2-3 years they are getting repeated, or the kind of questions, the framing of the questions is being repeated. I picked those topics, I made a list, and then I realized that these topics, if I have a very good content on these topics, this is my X factor. So in those topics, I would refer to multiple resources. I would try to collect as many data or as many facts which are available. If I have to give an example, suppose Niti Aayog is there. So Niti Aayog you read in economy and in polity. But if you see the questions, there are many current affairs questions or here and there questions you will see in the real examination, the test series, that they will say this initiative is being launched by Niti Aayog, or this is connected with the Niti Aayog. So I thought there must be at one place where I should have everything related to Niti Aayog, whichever I know of, from test series, from content, from current affairs, everywhere. I would jot down everything on online platform. And in the end, in the last month, I'll revise it. And by the time this compilation becomes almost complete, I would have that confidence in me that if this particular topic, this particular scheme, if this particular term is not in my Niti Aayog note, it is not related to Niti Aayog. So this confidence, if you have there, what happens that in the real examination, when some new term comes, so you have this hunch that I'll take the risk, I'll take that calibrated risk, and I'll mark it accordingly. So if it is not in my notes, it is not related to Niti Aayog, mark it accordingly, and you'll see that most of the time your hunch is right. So in this manner, I made multiple high-yielding topics notes which were very enriched. and because I gave subsequent attempts, so that note became more enriched by the time. And these high yielding topics, there is a concept of Pareto principle. So it says that 80% of our result comes from 20% of our efforts. This is usually used in businesses, that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers. So if you apply it in our preparation, so I felt that this 20% of my high yielding topics are something that give me a huge result, disproportionate result. And this was my X factor that actually helped me score consistently between the range of 110 to 130, which was a very comfortable margin, sir. Yes, sir. And sir, after this completion of notes and high yielding topics, I did extensive whatever number of tests that I can I can approach, I can solve. I did. It differs on the person to person, whether they are in first attempt or they have multiple attempts. So there should be a sufficient number of tests that you give. One approach that was different for me was I analyzed the solutions in a different manner. Maybe many people would be doing that way also. Conventionally, people, what they do is that they take the solution, highlight it, they see that okay, this is something new information that I have gotten, and they will highlight it and they will keep it on their table. That solution booklet that will keep on piling up, and by the time you reach near to prelims, you will have around 1,115 pages solution that you can never revise, that you will never be able to revise, or even if you are giving so much time to revision of that 1,000 and 1,500 pages, that is inefficient. So what I did was I took this whatever means the way I'm solving, whether offline or online, I'll take the solution PDF, I'll just analyze the paper, whichever question, whichever content which I feel that it is new to me, or this is something that I have marked it wrong, I'll copy it, I'll take a screenshot of that content. I'll place them in OneNote. In OneNote, I'll segregate the topic, segregate subject-wise and topic-wise. So whatever new information comes, I'll segregate that topic-wise. And this will allow me to revise it very fast. When, let's say I have polity, I'm revising polity, so I'll be referring to my notes, and then I'll have this value addition content from prelims, which is on the side of my iPad. And then I'll just swiftly skim through it. So that would save my time. That would also help me focus on those aspects which I have marked wrongly at some point of time. So you are revising it multiple times, you are revising it more frequently, sir. So this worked for me. And apart from that, sir, the day of the examination is very much important. This entire process of UPSC prelims, if you say, there is no end to your preparation. Every candidate like you, the more serious candidate you become, the more doubtful you become of yourself, whether I have prepared or not. So it is very natural that we often feel that our preparation is not complete, and that is going to happen. I have given so many attempts, and every time it felt so. But have that confidence in you that whatever you have read, whatever you have compiled, whatever you have read honestly in these last months or over the years, have confidence in that approach. And on the day of the examination, you should be able to give your peak performance. You have to learn it. It is a life skill that will be used, that will be useful in the public life when you become an officer. So you have to learn how to give peak performance on the day of the event or the day of the examination. What I did was, or what you should do is be very calm on the day of the examination. People actually skim through a lot of content on the last day, and they are very anxious that this might come from this examination, but that does not happen actually. If you realize in the hindsight, that does not happen, that does not help much. So what I did, I be calm on the day of the examination, have adequate sleep, and go in the examination center, have support systems like reach on time and do not panic. In the examination, you should be able to give 100% of your focus and have a plan already in your mind. How would you be approaching the paper? We can talk about the approach of the paper, but you should approach the paper. The plan of the approach should be in your mind, or you should have practiced earlier itself. Apply that approach. Make sure that you are not bogged down by the level of the questions that are being asked. I remember, sir, in my first attempt, whatever efforts that I could put, I started from question number 1, and around 17 questions passed, and I was able to definitely solve like 3 questions. So that was the moment I thought that this paper is very difficult or something like. But then I hold on my nerves. I felt that okay, this part might be difficult. That year agriculture aspect very there was a high density of agriculture questions. So I reached till 25, which was my usual course, and then I switched to new segment. And then the good quality questions and doable questions came, and then when I came back, then I realized okay, this is also doable and all, and I finished the paper with a comfortable margin at the end. So in the examination, you should have a very good emotional regulation. You should not panic. This examination the prelims examination specifically is built to eliminate you. If you are not emotionally resilient, if you are not emotionally stable, you are not able to control your anxiety. So you will be eliminated. That is elimination process. That is what the commission wants at that stage. So have faith in you. Do not panic what kind of questions that are being asked. Finish the paper on time. Have the structured manner in which the paper you will approach. And then there's CSAT paper. CSAT paper, I always tell, in CSAT paper, many candidates are not able to finish or they are not able to reach up to question number 80.
Okay.
So because of our sometimes ego issues, or sometimes we stick to one question. Why I would be able to solve this? I am from engineering background. I knew this topic. I have read this topic. I'll solve this question. You should not do this. Just skim through the question. See what all questions is doable. If it is doable, do it there. And if it appears that it might take time, just mark it. You'll come back and then you'll see if it is doable or not. If you reach till question number 80, what you would have that some questions which are very much easily doable, which like there are many questions in CSAT, it hardly takes 5 to 10 seconds to guess the answer or to get to the answer. So if you miss out on those questions, then it is a disaster for you. And many candidates are doing that mistake actually. So and most of the serious candidates are getting left. If they are getting left in CSAT, they are probably for 2 to 3 questions maximum. So every question is very much important. If it is doable, you should reach to that question and plan your paper in that manner. So broadly, sir, this was my approach. We can go into extent possible, sir.
So it's wonderful, Wasim. The most important thing I would want to highlight for the viewers is that you made a point that prelims is not about sources, not about how much you have read. It's more about the confidence, and it's more about the mind game which you are going to show over there. And you made an excellent point that so if you are not able to cope up with this, so stress and emotional strength you are not showing, you will get eliminated. That's wonderful. And I'd also want to come back to the point which you made. So no source is 100% perfect, and it's all about how well you prepare that and how confidently you have a hold on that. So for example, you were saying about the Niti Aayog, and you have made something on that. If something is coming which is there in the question and it is asking whether it is related to the Niti Aayog, and you know that it is not there in your notes, you sure that it should not belong to that. So therefore, if a person is focusing on a specific notes in a thorough manner, it is not only helping them in coming to the conclusion about the right answer, it will also help them in eliminating the wrong one. Okay, so that's a wonderful thing. And that is what is like prelims is all about, the mind game, right? So the good one. And so regarding the so practice of prelims, I want to talk specifically about that. So you have been part of our Abhyas initiative and the test series of prelims. So first thing, like if you can tell our viewers like how helpful it was, and the second thing is how important it is about the practice. Okay, so how well because many of the particularly the first timers they tend to think that prelims हम जितना पढ़ेंगे जितना हम revise करेंगे उतना ही important है. Obviously that is also important. What is the significance of this practice?
Sir, every candidate who is in last 2 to 3 months of the prelims preparation, they should focus on the solving adequate number of tests. That is very, very much required. You should have whichever institute you opt for. I believe, which is my personal choice, VisionIAS Institute, VisionIAS test series were had very good quality, and the consistency in the past years that I have been following it. And the second aspect is the mock papers, the mock test. Abhyas is there. In Abhyas, throughout these years, in most of the attempts, I went there. I went to the offline center which is there, and then I solved the Abhyas paper in real time in the examination simulation environment, and it actually helped me in the sense that Abhyas papers are very mature, very diligently crafted in a manner which is actually close to UPSC paper, and that is very much required when you are almost at the finish of prelims paper, because that will give you a lot of confidence because we have 2 to 3 papers that we attempt in the real simulated environment, and that will actually give you this training of emotional control and emotional training, and how to actually hold on your nerves whenever if the questions are not in your court, how to deal with this.
Yeah, you gave the example like you had continuous like few questions which you are not able to answer.
Yes, sir.
Most of the students would panic in that case. Yeah, please continue.
Yes, sir, that happens, and that was because I did not panic, because I had that training. Ki it is a 100 questions paper. There must be questions which are easy. There must be questions which are difficult, and if it is difficult for me, it is difficult for everybody. At one point of time, you have to build that confidence in you, that if any question is difficult if you are a serious candidate, you must be very confident about your preparation. Okay, I have read so much, I have followed the process. So that confidence is very much required on the day of the examination. There is a lot of cohort of the candidates which actually panic in the last week, in the last day, and they are out of the race. So you have to hold on your nerves. You have to have your confidence in yourself. You have to be able to give the performance on the day of the examination.
So hopefully Abhyas was helpful in that.
Yes, sir.
Because I remember during my time of preparation, there was no such thing. Okay, so and here one can actually get the feeling of so how the UPSC is going to be conducting these prelims. Yeah, please. So other than that practice part, like can you give us like what is the significance of practice? Because there's 2 ways. One way of is that like sitting in the examination environment and solving 2 hours of paper, that is one way of practicing. The second thing, like on daily basis, some also suggest that you have to work on daily basis, practice some questions and regularly assess your so preparation level. So how was your approach here? Like how did you approach this practice part for your prelims?
So there are 2 ways of practice. One is that you are, as you said, some questions daily, 10, 20, 50, whatever is comfortable for you. And the second part is you are attempting 100 questions in 2 hours. In the first approach, if you are attempting 10 or 20 questions a day, that is not for your assessment. That is for filling the gaps of knowledge or building that recall. So use those questions just for the purpose that whether I am able to recall these things, whether I am able to rightly analyze what I have read. But do not assess whether you have solved 7 questions right or 8 questions right. That is not a correct way of assessment. But if you are solving 100 questions, let's say in 2 days or 3 days, after 3 days each. So in those 100 questions, depending on the subject, whether it is the entire syllabus or whether it's the subject is specific or the segment is specific, you should be able to prepare it in advance. Whatever content that is being asked, you should be able to prepare it in advance and give the simulated, whatever simulation that you can achieve, whether at home or whether at institute, ensure that the environment is there. So you should stick to the time limit. You should stick to the approach that you will be following till the end. So my approach of the paper, like if there's 100 questions is to be approached, I divided the paper in that I will be getting 3 rounds of the iterations. In my first iteration, what I'll do is that I'll attempt 17 questions in 25 questions in 17 minutes. 25 questions in 17 minutes. Next 25 in 17, so 35, and then 110. So after 1 hour 10 minutes, there will be 1 round of the questions, and my approach was that I'll be filling the OMR continuously. Like yes. So one benefit of continuously filling the OMR is that once you have filled that questions, there's no scope of getting back to that questions. You will save time.
Yes.
Otherwise, what happens that we mark it, and in the end, when the filling part comes, then at some point you feel, okay, I should just revisit this question.
Yeah.
So that wastes your time. So I used to continuously fill the OMR, whatever questions that comes, and mark those which are not I am attempting also. And in 1 hour 10 minutes, I'll be attempting whatever I am 100% confident. Then the second round, it would be of 30 minutes. In 15 minutes, I'll be seeing 1 to 50 questions. Yes. In next 15 minutes, 51 to 100. Yes. And in this round, what I'll do is that I'll solve those questions which I was in more or less dicey, whether I have eliminated two options already. And if I have eliminated two options, or even one option, I had the idea that I'll solve these questions because in all my attempts, I solved around, I never went below 98 or so. I solved most of the questions. Okay. In the third round, you have around 18, 20, 22, whatever the yes. comfortable range is. These questions would be left in last 20 minutes. Yes. What I did was that I cannot go through the entire paper searching that whether I have marked 27 or 38 or 51. So just in 1 or 2 minutes, I'll write those questions in the back that these questions are left that I have to attempt in last 20 minutes. Okay. And then I'll give my adequate focus on those questions. Okay. Because these are the questions which I do not have idea about, which is very much seemingly difficult to me. But because I have a plan in my mind that I have to solve maximum number of questions, so I would be just matching with the list that I have made. I'll go directly to that question. I'll see if it can be done, whatever logic I can make out of it, and then if it is solvable, I would solve it. I will mark it. I'll strike it off, and then this way I was able to comfortably finish the paper like 2 to 3 minutes before the deadline. So my idea was, I have always told my juniors or my friends that always, if you are a serious aspirant, if you are confident about your preparation, always attempt almost all questions. Maybe 2-3 questions you might left, because statistically, if you are leaving questions and if you are serious aspirant, so that might not help you. That might backfire. I knew that if I'm a serious aspirant, I know a lot of things. I have knowledge of more or less everything, but there are some questions which might appear that I have no knowledge about it. So I would get a hunch of it. Okay. If this is related to this might not be this, or some logic you would make on in the real time.
I feel there your confidence on the sources which you have done is going to be very much helpful. You know that ये मेरे source में नहीं है, तो मतलब ये शायद गलत है.
Yes, sir.
That confidence which you have in your source is very much helpful in so getting the hunch. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Nice. So, wonderful. And so I want to also understand in most of your attempt after your final, so results, you had a very short time before prelims. Okay, so because this year we have around 2.5 months of time. So but before all of this, you had a very short time after your final result. So how did you strategize for this prelims?
Sir, prelims is a process. If you crack it once, then it is something that is predictable in the sense if you have followed the right process. So I remember in CSE 22 result came and there were only 5 days left for prelims examination of CSE 23, and this was the time that when you are not able to see your name in the final list, that is very emotionally draining moment,
yes.
very difficult time. But then you have to go back to your table, you have to study for 5 days. I maximized whatever content that I already had, whatever things of current affairs that I can look for, just to skim through it. But I knew that a lot of things I might not have covered for this year. There are a lot of current affairs that I might not be aware about it. But then I had the confidence in my content, I had the confidence in my earlier approaches that there are a lot of questions which are not coming from the facts, or they are not only being solved by the facts, rather they can be solved if you follow the process right. So at times there are many questions which demand from you the real-time analytical skills. Very obscure content you might not find anywhere in any coaching institute materials, or they might pick it from some government resources that you cannot read also. But if you know that how the questions are being framed and what is the point in which the examiner tries to catch you. So not in every question, obviously, but in some questions, if you follow that approach, if you and that comes with practice obviously,
yes.
And a practice of PYQs. This is where PYQs become very much important. For those questions which are coming from books, they are not much of that might not give you this insight. But always look for those questions which were very obscure, which whose information was not available at that time, or which was seemingly difficult questions. So if you are able to gauge how these seemingly difficult questions are being asked and how they have framed the options and how they have tried to trick you, and also the larger the question is, the longer the question is, the better it is for you to solve that question.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of content in which you can pick what is the trick that is being applied.
Yes.
So do extensive analysis of PYQs from these seemingly difficult questions. If you are able to have that advantage in 4 to 5 questions, you are done. You are crossing that threshold. So that actually helps in the PYQ analysis.
Very good. And also I want to go back. So you were saying you had a proper time limit in which you want to solve the number of questions. It's very good that you were able to go through 3 rounds, which even we suggest, but many of them were not able to do that. So, and you should have practiced really well to come to that, so time limit. So you're able to really do that in real time too, in the practice in Abhyas test. Like in 17 minutes, you have to do 25 questions and then next 25 questions. You're able to properly do that in the exam?
Yes, sir. This is where Abhyas helps you, because Abhyas test is very much close to UPSC paper, the way the questions are organized, easy, moderate and hard level questions, which are the way it is organized. So it is pretty much doable in the sense that 25 questions in 17 minutes with OMR filling is something if you practice, and even if you are not able to reach to 25, I would leave it. If I am at 22 questions and my 17 minutes is reached, I'll move to the next segment because I was very strict with the schedule. So this is how your mind is hardwired, that you are strict with the timeline, and it becomes a part of you. With practice, with Abhyas test, it becomes part of your practice, And slowly, sir, it is pretty much easy in the real examination, whatever type of question that is being asked, and it is always there. Every year you will see some some bouncers given by UPSC. That the trend of the questions would change, the way of the questions framing has changed. So that you should be mentally prepared beforehand. So this actually helps, and Abhyas in that manner, sir, helped me a lot, sir.
That's wonderful. So Wasim, you're a practical example, like how to handle prelims under pressure with confidence, and so show that you can really do this. It's more about the mindset rather than so how much of study you make, right? That's wonderful. And also I want to come back to the current affairs part. Did you have any strategy for current affairs separately for prelims and mains, or what is your strategy overall for current affairs?
Sir, for current affairs, as I said, that I had this prelims and mains segregation already in my mind. So whatever current affairs resources I used to study, I would ensure that I have separate prelims and mains.
Okay.
So there are monthly magazines by VisionIAS also, and of other institutes also, which I felt for prelims I did not, initially I read it, but I did not carry it forward because that does not align with my thought process that prelims is different, mains is different. So I looked for some prelims specific current affairs.
Okay.
PT 365 in that sense is very good because you only have
Completely
prelims oriented things. Orphan for mains, I completely relied on mains 365 because very good quality content and very well segregated topics are there. So for current affairs, I followed this. Prelims would be different, mains would be different.
Okay.
And I used to, whatever resources that you follow, whether you go for monthly current affairs or 6 monthly or so, you follow the process. And in current affairs, what I realized that I would not make notes of current affairs because it is very much difficult, but I would pick the information and compile it some topic wise.
Okay.
So there is some compilation, like I compiled terms. So terminologies are some, there are such questions in every year paper. You will see that 2 to 3, 4 to 4, 5 questions also. Only terminologies are asked. This term is related to which? I remember greenwashing was asked.
Yes.
So I felt that these terminologies, if I know, if even I have a slightest of knowledge, I am getting 2 marks. So in the current affairs, which is very much diverse, where there are multiple types of information that is given, I used to pick those terms and I used to compile them in my OneNote. Whenever I am reading the content, if one terms come and this I feel that it could be included in my OneNote, I would straight away write there. By the end of by the close to prelims examination, I would have a list of terms which are frequently in the current affairs, and they have high density to be high probability of being asked. That actually gave me an edge.
Okay.
Because those terms are very low-hanging fruits if you know.
Yes.
And if you do not know, then it is
You cannot answer.
very much difficult, becomes very much difficult. So current affairs, if you are approaching in this manner, you are extracting the high-yielding topics from there. Yes. Do not make notes of current affairs as such because you have paucity of time, value your time, but you can make some compilations. Also, current affairs at times becomes or appears to be bulky because your back-end content or static content is not good.
Yes.
So, if you read environment and you do not have good notes of environment in the back-end, then every information in the current affairs appear to be new to you, which would appear that a new burden has come to me, or science and technology, or these papers. So what I would suggest that even in these dynamic subjects, before approaching the current affairs, ensure that you have a good notes of these current oriented topics. Even in IR for prelims, IR, if you have a good content where all the institutions, all the organizations, all the groupings are there, which all major informations. Yeah. So when the current affairs come, you know that only these 2 lines are new. Otherwise, everything is already in my notes.
Yeah.
So now the bulk is reduced. So you do not need to read the entire thing there. You already know that BRICS is in my notes. I know the members and this and whatever declarations that have been brought in. Just new information may come that this year's BRICS summit was held at this place and some declaration has come. Just this information is required for your current affairs. You pick that information and the rest is already in your notes, so that you do not feel that bulk. And it is very much important for current affairs.
Nice. So basically, so no source is complete. You have to sit and work on that. So then only you get the best returns out of that source, whatever the source you refer to. Wonderful. Okay, so let's move on to the main strategy. Okay, so so first thing, you already told us that you had made a separate source for prelims and mains, and so in that, so how did you ensure that you were able to, so perform, so mains itself, because so that continuous marathon series of so the paper which is conducted by UPSC, that itself is tiresome. You're able to crack that 5 times. And so within this duration of after prelims and mains, okay, so tell us before that what is the overall strategy for mains, and particularly what would you do in this after the prelims exam is done and then till mains? What is your overall strategy there?
So, sir, for mains, what is required is that mains requires a different approach from prelims. And in mains, what I did not straight away jump to making notes.
Okay.
Which usually people do. They start making notes of mains, and then after some time they realize that they have made a huge bulk of notes. What I did was that I analyzed the PYQs. There are some online platforms which provide the analysis. VisionIAS also provides analysis of how the trend has been, what are the focus areas, what are the questions that are being asked from some focus areas. And then I would make a broad list of the topics that are for every paper or every subject. And in those subjects, so I have this micro listing of the topics which are required or which need to be covered for mains. And I will then extensively read or analyze the toppers' answer copies. I have read a lot of papers which are online, which are available on VisionIAS platform. And I really liked VisionIAS platform because most of the papers are from Abhyas papers. Yes. Because it is required, it is a better parameter to judge because those papers have been written within 3 hours time frame.
Yes.
So it gives you an idea how much of the content you will be able to write in the real examination.
Yes, because there's a huge difference between you sitting in a comfortable so time zone as well as so your comfort of space, and then sitting in the examination and write for 3 years. There's a lot of difference. You're able to identify that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
So in that manner, Abhyas paper becomes a very good parameter to judge how much content you can write, how much content is practically possible, which are being written by the toppers. And I'll do extensive analysis of the papers. So there are multiple ways of writing the answers. When you analyze it, you will see some pattern. Okay, this is something that everybody is doing. You jot down your learnings from them. You jot down how the points are being written, how long are they, how examples are being integrated, how the question is being divided into multiple subparts, how intro is being written, how conclusion is being written, how they have highlighted the important keywords or data, or how they have presented some chart or flow chart. So this all thing you can learn by analyzing these papers. If you have time, do extensive analysis. And at one point of time, you will realize that these are some broad principles that everybody follows. So I'll be following this approach. Now you go after content because you already know the subjects, polity, economy, geography, whatever. So in these subjects, you have to collect the content. Now you know that topper has written this much content only. So you know how much content is required to be written in my notes. So you would not be running after a lot of content. You would be precisely focusing on those content which are practically possible to write. And because you have seen a variety of papers, so you would be also picking up those flowcharts, those data, or those keywords which are possible to write. At times we see some flowchart at some place and then we copy it or keep it at some place, but that is not practical to make in the examination. You cannot spend 2 minutes to make just a flowchart. So that gives you a real-time analysis, that gives you an analysis of how you will be making your content. Slowly you would be making your content for every subject, and when the subject, slowly the subject is a sufficient amount of content is available to you. Do not run after perfection. As I already said, there is no perfect note. Just ensure that you have decent content. Now I would start answer writing. This you have to start before prelims. That you have to learn answer writing. Whether even if you have the paucity of time, you are not able to write complete test, at least you learn the answer writing, because that is very much required. That is the skill that would be needed all through. So answer writing, it sometimes becomes people delay it in the sense that they are very much afraid that I would not be able to recall. I do not know how to write answers. What I did, sir, initially in few days or few months, maybe few weeks, months, I wrote open book answers. I had my content in my front of me.
Okay.
I had content in front of me. I would pick some question. It is better you pick a question from the toppers copy itself.
Okay.
Had the content in front of you. Write from the content open book.
Okay.
Try to write it in your own words, whatever suits you. Make the framing. Then you analyze.
Were you keeping a time limit?
So initially not. Initially, do not go after timeline because it is not possible. Then I would write. Then I'd also compare with the what the topper has written in that content. Slowly, that would give me confidence that I'm able to write in that manner. Slowly, you would be able to recall the content, and at one point of time, you would become confident that, okay, I know what is to be written in anti-defection law. Yes. Now I'm ready to write answers on anti-defection law by my own or based on my recall. Then you start writing based on your recall. Slowly you would be able to write few questions. Then in the next step, now improve on your speed. Speed is something that should come later on, because initially you cannot fix the time and then you write the content. So later on, when you know that I am able to recall some topics, then you start writing within the time frame, 7.5 minutes, 10 minutes. So in this process, in this way, your notes would get completed in a very structured manner. Now you have understood how to write answers based on recall, how to write answers in the time frame, and also write a quality answer because you have a good content by that time. If you have time, then attempt the paper. Then attempt the paper, or try solving the paper in 3 hours, whatever time it takes. Don't worry about 3 hours timeline initially. Even if 3:30, 3:35, initially it happens, because I have gone through that process, and I'll tell everybody you don't need to worry about time initially. Focus on your content, focus on your delivery, focus on your recall, that you should give quality content. Slowly, what happens that you try to reach the time limit, and when you clear prelims, if you are able to write few tests, then it is fine, based on what attempt you are in. And when you clear the prelims, then you give the complete focus on test series, where you should write 12 to 16 tests, whichever test series you join. If you are first attempt, if you are giving first attempt, then go for sectional tests and then full length in the end. You can also go for full length if you are comfortable there. And have a schedule. If you are clearing prelims, This is where clearing prelims with a comfortable margin becomes very much important.
Yes.
Because if you are clearing prelims with comfortable margin, you do not need to worry about the result.
Yes.
So those 15-20 days are very much you are confident on yourself.
Because most of them spend time speculating the cutoff.
Yes, sir.
Not having confidence. If you have that margin, you will start from so day one itself. After
Yes, sir. And those 20 days are very crucial because those would be the days where you would be coming out of the prelims phase and into mains phase. You will be bringing the content. You will
and
be
also, what happens when people spend their time in speculation and all, they will lose that momentum.
Right, sir.
So once you are in the prelims, you had picked up that momentum, and you lose that again. It will take time to pick it up, and by the time before you realize mains is here.
Right, sir.
Yeah, please continue. After that,
So after prelims, try to finish prelims by comfortable margin.
yes.
Again, go back to the table, make revise the strategy that you have for mains. Pick the test series or decide the test series that you would be attempting for GS, for essays, and for optional. Make a plan. I would pick the calendar, mark it that on which day I would be attempting the test.
Okay, so
It is very much important. I would be doing this in the following week after prelims.
Oh, nice.
In 3-4 days, when I have decided that I will be attempting this test series for optional, for GS, for essays, I would be marking all those days on which I have to attempt the paper.
Nice.
And because you have a schedule in front of you for entire 3.5 months in front of you, then you would become disciplined. You would not need any sort of motivation. You would not need any sort of push.
Yeah.
And if you become disciplined with that schedule,
Definitely.
it becomes a very good. Initially, on the day of the test, you would feel that I'm not confident or I'm not ready with the paper. But then you go and write the paper, write whatever.
When you know that you have to go and write, so you don't have any choice of
Sir.
taking a decision there.
And there's a positive reinforcement also. When you write test and you come back, then you feel a good sense. Okay, I have done something today, and you are happy about it. Okay, I have written 3 hours paper. So do not delay the test. Once you delay the test, then it is a domino effect. You would be destroying the entire schedule. Write those tests in the limited the time frame that you have built. Do not run after perfection. Do not run that I'll have every aspect that I need to read. Mains is also in mains you also have to learn the skill on how to write those questions which you do not know of.
Very important.
There are many questions. So this process, in this entire process, you know that in the final examination there would be questions in which I do not have the content, or I have the limited content that I would have to write in the limited time frame of 7 minutes. So practice that. So do not be fearful that I have not read this particular topic and I have to write. I am talking just about means, not
Yes.
for other phases. Otherwise, you have to read. So that you stick to the schedule.
Yes.
If you stick to the schedule, 3 months become very organized, and in the end you have Abhyas means simulator test, in which you would be in a real-time simulated environment. You have to write the test in 3 hours. The size of the copy, sir, I would rather say, many institutes they have this A4 sheet size of the answer sheet. But if you pick the UPSC booklet, they are slightly smaller.
Yes.
So VisionIAS booklets are more or less a little, maybe 2-3 mm more, but the size is good.
Almost fits. Yes.
Yes, sir. Almost fits. So it gives you a more confidence that you can write this much in 3 hours. Otherwise, if you start filling A4 sheet paper in 3 hours, at times it becomes difficult.
Yes.
At times it might appear why I am not able to finish the paper.
It gives underconfidence.
Yes, sir. Because the size of the paper is not correct. They are not putting correct effort in making the size of the booklet.
Yes.
So ensure that if you are appearing for mains, hopefully this year, appear for Abhyas means simulator test. Even if you are not confident that my syllabus is not complete or so, it happens. It happened with me in every attempt, sir. Okay. You always feel that this subject, this topic, I might have read twice, or there is a need to brush it up, or something like that. But when you start writing, there you go in some other zone. Your mind starts working, and you make out of it something some way. So, so in these 3 months, if you have a structured schedule, it would become very much easier for you to sail through these 3 months, because these are very hectic, very emotionally draining, very physically draining times. Means it's the real ball game where whatever you write, whatever you leave, that will have the impact on your final examination, final scores. So have that structured schedule, sir.
It's very nice. And I want to briefly come back to the point where you said it's very important to practice for those questions where you did not know the answer. How did you approach that? That's very important, right? So because in a paper there are 20 questions, so definitely there will be few questions which you had not so anticipated, and that practice is very important to score well in GS, right? So what is your strategy over there?
Sir, it is where analysis of previous year questions, solution of the questions, toppers copies comes. So I analyzed all these, and I found that I should make templates. So what I was able to hear from other peers, that they make templates, very generic templates. Pastel hai, so historical, social, economic bana lo. But I felt these are very broad templates which might not be useful for writing 2 to 3 pages, because very precise content is being asked. So I divided these templates subject wise.
Okay.
So I knew if in environment question you have 3 broad headings: biodiversity, climate change, and pollution. So I would have a template for biodiversity, what all comes into it.
Okay.
So template gives you an idea on what to think of, what not to miss. So if you are talking about pollutions, what all things should come into your mind. So these templates actually helped me. For example, oceans is a very frequently asked question, both in GS3 and GS1. There are a lot of things that happens in ocean. I would make a template. I'd see, okay, I'm also talking about biodiversity. I'm also talking about navigation. I will also talking about mining, fishery. I was also talking about some physical phenomenon, tsunamis and marine heat waves. So all these things which we hear, they might not be in your notes, or they might be segregated elsewhere. But if you make a template, if you know that if a question related to ocean comes, and even if that question is not directly from your notes or not on expected lines, if you know what on all points you have to think of, then you can make some educated points, some points which are legible, which are on lines with the expected answers. So that actually helped me, or that actually helps initially when you are writing answers. Initially, we have the information in back of our mind. It becomes very difficult to write those 5 points. You write 3 points, then you remember that I'm not able to write, recall the 4th or 5th, what I should write. So if you have the template at back of your notes, so that would help you in recalling those points and structuring those points. And when you write the points, then when you know the segment, what you have to remember from the template, then automatically that information that you have gathered elsewhere, maybe some example, maybe some data, maybe some committee name or something, that automatically comes in. So in this way, you are trained to write answers in a more efficient manner, sir, in which conventionally the people write, okay, you read this, or read these notes, and then you try to replicate in the real examination. I would have a very structure of all these things. Mostly like mathematics. In mathematics, what you do, you have some formulas. You know the process. Okay, if this formula is this step has to be followed, then you can get to the answer. Many questions you have to apply multiple formulas. So in this manner, answer writing, if you do this structuring, have these templates, so then you have to gather information. If you have the information, you would automatically try to answer in the very structured manner. So.
Nice, wonderful. So mains is more of the hard work and actual work which you do on daily basis and over that period of time, without actually bothering about the prelims result and and how focused you are going to be. Yes, very good. And can you briefly tell us about your optional? You had chosen anthropology as optional, right? So what is the reason? What are the factors you considered? And so a brief strategy on optional.
So I was from medical background. I had medical science optional as could have been my first preference. But when I seriously thought about preparing for this examination, I knew that time is very much limited. Uh, then I realized that medical science, and at that point of time, it was not much scoring actually. So I felt that it is the output ratio is very low, and that I have to put a lot of effort, and it is very much average scoring stuff. So I was looking for some other optional, and then anthropology was very natural. A natural option for me because these few topics is something that I already had the awareness of, and I started with that approach. I initially read human evolution and genetics part and all because I already knew that. Slowly, sir, because there's a lot of humanities in anthropology.
Yes.
So initially it was difficult for me because the entire approach in humanities is different. There's very universities type knowledge, bachelor's and master's knowledge is required for anthropology. So initially I struggled because I did not have read that approach. But because I had this thing or clarity with the means preparation of GS papers, so I was able to figure out the demand of the anthropology paper in the similar manner I figured out for GS papers.
Okay.
I would see a lot of toppers answers. I would see a lot of questions that have been asked. I would see a lot of solutions of the paper that have been that is there in the public domain. And then I would realize that this is the amount of information that I might be needing. So I would refer to some two to three resources which are available, and then I would started making notes. Slowly I started making notes, and because I had a very good, slowly I developed a very good notes. And in this process, I had 2 to 3 friends who actually supported me. We all had anthropology as an optional. So that division of work was there, and we slowly refined it. Sometimes also it happens that when you make notes in a group, what happens, you give the entire set of topic to one person, that you have to prepare these notes, I'll prepare these notes. What I felt that this might, so if you are making notes, I might not connect with you. So what I did, I made a level of notes. So one person would be doing the groundwork, second would be refining it, third would be finalizing it. So this way, everybody was on board. So because of anthropology notes, I had a very good anthropology notes, and because of that, I was able to score 302 in my first attempt.
Very good.
So the clarity is required. So what is the demand of the examination? Because if I did not have done the reverse engineering, I would be going through the conventional means. That would have taken me to the scholarly aspect of anthropology, which is vast, which is very much diverse and diversified. Rather, I focused on what is required for the examination, what is possible to write, what is needed from the examination perspective. And I also search for those resources, those test series which are actually focused on this approach, focusing on this approach. And in that manner, anthropology, in a way, I approached in very practical manner, sir. That I have to just get marks from it. I'm not a scholar. Maybe later in life, slowly you develop interest in everything you read.
Most of the students forget it, that they're here for UPSC and they tend to become scholars in this process.
Yes, sir, because there's a lot of bulky books that you refer to. In the resources that we have, like Peanath or Makhanja or Nadeem Hastan. So these books are very good. But if you read it the way we read in universities, it becomes very difficult that you lose time, sir, in that process. So if you have the clarity in mind that this is the requirement of the examination, you would be picking up and choosing only those things which are required for you. You are not reading line by line everything, every subject, every topic. Ember and Ember, people say that you read Ember and Ember, but I felt that it is too much scholarly in the sense Language is very difficult of Ember. But then Ember has very good case studies. Sir.
Okay.
So you pick practically what is good in that book, you pick it from there. And I would enrich that those case studies from Ember, and then I'll write my notes. One thing different that I did in anthropology was, sir, that I was telling, I did not tell about my notes actually. I always tell that always have your notes in A4 sheet.
Okay.
I would not go for notebook. I would not go for any other form of notes that you have.
For
physical notes. Physical notes.
You followed the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For physical notes, go for A4 sheets.
Okay.
And A4 sheet, you punch hole in the corner, tie it with thread, and keep it that way.
Okay.
Keep it in clear file also. And it gives you flexibility to add or remove things.
Yes.
When you give successive attempts, or when you are early into preparation, and in the later phase of the preparation, you realize that there are a lot of content that is not required. That is something that is making the bulk of your notes.
Yes.
So you can remove those aspects if you have these format, if A4 sheet format notes. In anthropology, what I did special was that when I was making notes, I was doing it because we were doing it with friends. We were doing it on Microsoft Word. We had around 30% of the margin on the right side left.
Okay.
So it was empty. I knew that this is a subject that I do not know much about. There would be a lot of value addition content that would be coming up when I would be attempting test series, when I would be attempting or analyzing toppers answers. So I would leave that 30% margin empty. And whenever those new content came, I just write in that margin.
Yes.
So that there's no duplication of efforts, there's no duplication of the content that if you are reading cultural relativism at one place and then 500 pages down the line you are again reading cultural relativism. So you have that flexibility of writing those content, and also you have the flexibility to adding any page at your will. So this allows you flexibility in both in mains and prelims, sir. And I always say this: have some. If you are comfortable with online things, then for mains notes, sir, I always was making notes on Microsoft Word and then getting it printed. So, because mains is something that you have to actively recall.
Yes.
Prelims may what happens is that if you know something, if you just click an information, then you are done.
Yes.
But mains you have to actively recall those points, those with examples you have to reproduce in the examination. So I would get, whenever my notes is more or less complete, maybe 20%, 30% or so, 80-90% or so. So I would be getting it printed, and because I had some margins left, I have these A4 sheets. I would be comfortable in value addition. I would be comfortable in removing or adding those contents, and this allowed me flexibility, and also because I felt that if mains notes is in online format, then recall becomes somewhat difficult, sir.
Yes.
Also, sir, for PDFs also, what happens is that if you use Adobe, those PDF come in vertical format. So if you read PDF in vertically, you lose connect. So I used Flexil. There's an app on App Store, Flexil. So they allow for the book style opening of the pages.
Yes.
So I would mark those pages, that if it is page number 2 and 3, so this is page number 2 and 3.
Okay.
I would always open 2 and 3 this way, 4 and 5 this way, 6 and 7 this way.
Okay.
So when I would initially when I would be reading the PDFs in my app, I would be marking it, and when I would be getting it printed, the same format would come.
Okay, what you're trying to achieve is the pictorial memory.
Sir,
Yes.
that happens. Usually when we read PDFs, then if you read vertically, then that misses, sir.
Exactly.
This is something that I felt, and I realized that I should read the PDF in same format in which it will be reproduced in the physical format.
Yes, nice. So you will get, it will be very much easier to recall and reproduce. So when you were sitting in the exam and trying to think, तो आपके दिमाग में आना चाहिए, ठीक है, इस कॉर्नर में ये लिखा है, इस कॉर्नर में वो
Yes, sir, that happens, sir.
Yeah, that's very good. Nice. ठीक है. So that was about the mains. Okay, so let's move on to the third stage. So interview, you are the candidate, you have given 5 consecutive interview and perform well. Okay, so please share us your strategy. Like I want to you to focus on mainly what are the key areas. Okay, so which one should focus upon during the interview preparation, and how you improvised from one interview to another. Okay, so and how was your performance and how you improvised, how you worked on that. Okay, so you can share with us.
Sir, interview preparation, it gives you a little time. If you are confident about mains, then you have a little time to prepare for your interview. Basic things are that you have to prepare your DAF, and fill it accordingly, keeping in mind what kind of questions could be asked.
Yes.
Even if anything uncomfortable is there, where you feel that it would be tricky for you, but everything can be prepared, sir.
Yes.
This is I realized people are very afraid to put something in their DAF that because of the fear that such kind of questions can be asked, but you can manage it. After you have mapped your DAF, pick every segment of your DAF from name to places to your institute to graduation to everything or hobbies and all. Then here comes like before before the GPT era, that was very manual thing.
Yes.
Now because ChatGPT is there, you can give the content, give the topic. You can make a lot of questions out of it, from beginners to advanced level questions, and you can organize it. For interview preparation, sir, I kept the entire notes on OneNote.
Okay.
Because I knew that this is something very dynamic. This will be changing every now and then.
Yes.
And there's a lot that could happen. So if for me, like for medical background, there's a huge list of topics that I have to prepare, sir. So I knew that new things would be coming up. So I made up my mind that I would be completely following the online format. Second thing is that you have to be now very much ready with the current affairs.
Yes.
Sir, I mean, my approach has been different, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
For prelims and mains, I did not read newspapers, sir, because time did not permit, sir.
Yes. Yes.
I felt that if I am able to get the same information from the materials that is available, that would save my time.
Yes.
And I am not fending for those two to three very obscure content, which later is being claimed that it came from the newspaper. I'm not fending for that.
Okay.
So I was very sure that I would not be following newspaper in prelims and mains broadly, sir. But for interview, it becomes very much necessary. You have to read newspaper every day, and do not make notes out of it. But here comes the part of Sir VisionIAS, this daily news analysis.
Nice. Okay.
It's very good because in those 20-25 minutes, that you would be getting the snapshot of everything that is happening. You would getting the 4-page content of that. It helped me a lot in my interview preparation. And in those, so you are reading the newspaper. You are going to you are knowing the content, knowing the information that is happening, and also you are reading some analysis aspects of what is of the topic which can be asked in details, where your analysis is required. And you are reading from these daily current affairs. You are aware of about the things, and then comes the part of the practice. So in whatever has been the background of you, some people have some aptitude, some people lack those those presentation skills, or maybe they are fearful, they have anxiety initially. So all these things can be learned. So you should have that growth mindset, that every ability can be developed in due course of time if you have that confidence and if you persevere for that. So whatever mocks that I gave, I took the feedback, I saw the videos of it, and then I realized that these questions could have been answered better, or I did not use the correct word here. I could have used the correct word, or I should have been this precise. So slowly you learn it. and mocks, limited number of mocks one should give, because at times our interview many candidates get early dates. So limited mocks you take, work on those aspects of your personality, on the areas which you can work on. Also, that there's a disclaimer that interview preparation is never ending. Everything new comes up, and whatever mocks you give, you always have some feedback that you did not say this way or that way. It is a human tendency. We want everybody to be like us. So if somebody is not performing that way, we would be giving that feedback to them, that you should do this way or that way. But people across different personalities or different manners of speaking or different ways of presentation are getting marks, getting ranks. So you should have confidence in yourself. Just there are a few principles that you have to keep in mind, and you should prepare along that manner, and then you can do well.
What is the most important aspect in interview? Content, mock, or anything else? The confidence levels or how you deliver? What is the most important aspect?
Sir, initially you need to have content. At least a bare minimum content you should have.
Yes.
At least those content that you have mentioned, those topics that you have mentioned in your DAF,
Yes.
have the decent content in you. And then there comes the part of your confidence, sir. Because they are looking for confident people who are going to be on public platforms, who are going in public service, who would be dealing with a lot of pressure, who would be dealing with a lot of responsibilities. So if you are if you are lacking in those aptitudes, sir, they might not like it, sir.
Yes.
So you need to be confident. Even if you're not confident, you have to appear to be confident, sir. That okay. And slowly, sir, I realized that in interviews, sir, apart from content and all, the manner of the interview is about conversation. What kind of conversation you are able to elicit, and whether you are able to hold a good conversation.
Yes.
So if you are able to hold a good conversation, you have to follow few principles. You have to be precise. You do not have to digress from what is being asked.
Yes.
You have to be calm, composed. You have to be respectful. You should show humility in front of the elders. And they are very esteemed people from different backgrounds. So you should have that humility. You should have that voice modulation in front of them. So all these aspects actually are required for the interview
that
process.
is very important point you made. It is very difficult to show humility and confidence at the same time, right?
Yes.
You have to show that you're a confident person. At the same time, you cannot be overconfident and show that in terms of because you should. Many of the times, the candidate tends to feel either too energyless in front of the board, because they think that ये लोग बैठे हैं उनके सामने में तो कुछ भी नहीं हूँ. At the same time, either some of the candidates tend to become over arrogant and try to them मुझे सब कुछ पता है. Balance is very much important.
Indeed, sir.
Yes, very good. So that was your interview preparation.
Yes.
Very good. So I can see that you had approached this entire preparation in a very structured manner. That is something which is very good, Wasim. And so I guess that is what made you to remain consistent throughout this entire process. And so I want you to share your experience, how you're able to maintain that energy level, so during all this preparation, because it's not easy. Because the most important, the event which even those who had given civil service exam, they would remember that result PDF. When you put your roll number, it is there, it is not there. You're able to see your roll number in all your attempts, in prelims, in mains, but in the final rank list, you miss that thrice. Okay, so and after that, you will lose your confidence and you will feel like totally low energy, and you have to come back again, perform. So how did you do that?
Sir, the decision to prepare for this examination is a very big decision in everybody's life. All those who are watching this, they have made a very big leap forward in their attempt to actually change their lives or change the lives of the future people that they will be serving. So for me, what was very clear from from very beginning was that I was clear with the purpose. It's very difficult. Our purpose is something that always keeps on evolving. But if you're able to find the purpose of your life, what you need to do, then it becomes easy for you to then chart out your goals. So you are clear with the purpose that this is something that I want from my life. This I have only one life here. This is I would be doing. So you chart out some goals that this clearly defined goals that I want. And when you have jot down your goals, now you know the practical ways to achieve those goals. And those practical ways, for example, clearing this examination, you know that this I have to follow this process, this. Then for achieving those goals, what is needed is discipline. Discipline is something that will keep you going, keep you waking up every day, doing the hard work, doing the grind, and will keep you moving, even if you are not motivated, even if you are not in the mood, even if you are physically drained, even if you are even if the odds are against you, the result has not come in your favor. So the discipline is something that keeps you moving. Now, in this process, a lot of candidates like me faced very results that are not expected out of them. So in that moments, we initially feel a lot of emotional sense of trauma at that point of time.
Yes.
But slowly you will realize that if you are able to cultivate that emotional resilience, if you are able to emotionally detach yourself from the results, then it becomes a process. Then entire thing that you are doing becomes a process. You focus on the process. You do not worry about the result. It is very easy to say, but very difficult to do. But you develop that equanimity in you, that whatever the result comes, I'm ready for it. I have done my 100% of honest efforts. I have followed the process which is being taught to me, and following that process, many people are succeeding. So you focus on the process, you focus on your discipline, detach yourself from the result, have that emotional resilience in you. Because if you are not emotionally resilient, if you give up, then the entire journey in a way becomes meaningless at times. You have to focus on the process, and process is so much important because that would allow you to keep going, keep improving yourself. At times, we feel that this result has not come in my favor because I did my effort, but I don't know why. But later on, you realize that this is some aspect that I can work on, and this is some areas I can work on. So you develop the humility to accept that there's a lot to learn, and uh, I am not yet reached to that stage where I would be able to get selected. So you continuously keep on improving yourself, keep on fixing those gaps that have been left, whether it is prelims, mains, interview, whatever it is. And it is a life skill. So like later in life, you realize that a lot of things do not turn out in your favor. But you have to keep moving. You have to do it again. You have to persevere for it. And if you are able to maintain that emotional maturity, because this process is something that is making or that is building up you. We are very young when we enter into this preparation. Emotional maturity is not there. But if you follow the process, if you go through these ups and downs, you learn things, you become emotionally mature, you learn to handle pressure, you learn how to handle negative emotions, you do not let the negative emotions get over you. this actually allowed me, this entire thing allowed me that I keep on doing things. I knew that if not today, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I would getting the result, and fortunately I did. So that kept me going, and plus have a very good support system behind you, be it friends and family. It's very much required because this process is emotionally draining at times. For many, it is financially draining. It's become very difficult. So have that support system with you. It's very essential to have a good set of friends. At times, it becomes a disaster if you get into a bad circle.
Yes.
So cultivate that and improve on this. So this entire process, this entire thinking process somehow helped me that I persevere and I continue this.
Wonderful. So talking about the other way around, let's say if at all, okay, so you could not have made into the list, what was your plan? Like you would have thought, like you always thought you would have made into the list, or you had thought, okay, so you said you want to focus on the process, not worry about the result. But if things are not working in your favor, what you would be doing?
So for me, because I I went till interview in the first stage itself, first attempt itself, and I was very close to the threshold of cutoff. So I had the confidence in me that I knew the process. I followed the process well.
Okay.
I have cracked the code of the examination. Maybe some little refinement is needed. But for many candidates, at times it becomes difficult when their attempts are exhausted.
Yes.
But I would say, sir, this entire exam process, the day you have decided to appear for this examination, when you became a serious aspirant, sir, then you have become a new person.
Definitely.
You are completely different from what you were earlier, sir.
Yes.
This exam process, if you are honestly following it, you become a completely new person. You develop all those good skills that is required in your professional life, in your social life, in your life ahead. Even if you are not able to somehow clear this exam, there's a lot of opportunity or lot of skills that you learn in this process
Yes.
that would be useful, or that you can use in later on in life wherever you are. So this exam process is something that within few years, within few limited time, you learn a lot, sir.
Yes.
So that is something
that
is
itself is the
beautiful.
result. People tend
Yes, sir.
not to see that. Okay, so particularly those who could not make into the finalist after giving all their attempts, I would want to tell the process itself is the result, which has changed you as a person, which will make you survive anywhere you go. Okay, so wonderful. Fine. And you had been working all through
Yes,
your
sir.
attempts. Okay, so and that is again that makes result more special. You're able to maintain that professional continuity at the same time give this UPSC examination. Can you just throw some light like how to maintain that balance? And so particularly like going with the online mode of preparation, offline mode of preparation. So and VisionIAS, you were part of VisionIAS, which
Yes, sir.
online mode of preparation was there, which was helpful to you. And did you attend any of the offline sessions also at VisionIAS?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're able to make that balance. Okay, so can you please tell us something about that balance along with the work?
So if you are working professional, time is a luxury for you. And the limited time that we have, what we need to do is that we have to maximize our hours that we have. So here comes the role of productivity and efficiency, sir. Whatever you are doing, in whatever way you are approaching this examination, try to be efficient. So for me, sir, I knew that I cannot make notes of prelims entirely from zero. So what I did, sir, that I would be reading these classical books, that resources that are available that everybody tells. For example, Lakshmikant for polity. But I knew that if I start making notes of polity by my own, and then it would take a lot of time. So what I did, I searched for some summary notes These classical books are summary. Many institutes have made summary notes of these books, but these summary notes are not sufficient or not. At times, it is incomplete. So what I did was I initially read Lakshmikant a few times. Then I picked the summary notes. I had my Lakshmikant already where I have marked things, and when I keep Lakshmikant here, summary notes here, then I will match the summary notes and Lakshmikant, that whatever I have marked, whether it is present in the summary notes.
Okay.
So major informations are already there in summary notes.
Okay.
There might be few information which are in Lakshmikant, which you felt that you should know or which you need to recall, but it is not here. So you write there, write by the side of it. So this way you are able to finish your notes and also do the value addition in notes, whatever the class notes that you have. You do the value addition in this summary notes. And you do it in a very limited time. So you are doing it very efficiently compared to what people do from chapter 1, doing it by themselves. So after you have made these summary notes for prelims, I remember that after first prelims I did not read Lakshmikant. So like it might be somewhere else.
Okay.
So I knew that this summary notes, I have all those contents because this is my content. I have matched it with the reference book. I have included it with my hand, and I have read it multiple times. It's 120 pages. If it is there, then I can read multiple times, revise multiple times. So this manner you become efficient. So this is one manner of becoming efficient in every process whichever you are following. Use a lot of technology that is available to you. If it is affordable for you, get a tab, get a laptop for you, and that would actually make you more effective. I feel that there is always a resistance. I don't know why people are not very forthcoming to use tabs and laptops.
Okay.
Because that is seen after that you can see at the center of the examination. Yes. That people are still revising with their notes
Notebook,
that
yes.
they have made.
Yes.
I would be keeping the tab and then I'll be just skimming through it. Yeah. So, and particularly mains examination, you need to have very crisp and precise things. I would take screenshots. If I have if I have come after GS2 and tomorrow is GS3, I have limited time. What I will do, I'll just take a screenshot of the content that I already have in online format. I'll take the photo of those which are in offline format. I would have some 70, 80 screenshots or photos that I can skim through in 20-30 minutes.
Yes.
So this way, it allows you to become more efficient, become more targeted. Use online mediums, use ways in which the efficiency and productivity can be increased. Various apps are there which keeps you on track. Do deep work, sir. Yes. When you have limited time, the idea of deep work is that you have to disconnect from all the distractions. And even if you are reading it or studying for 2 hours, give your best, the entire focus on that one, on your studies. Do not do any parallel work, do not do multitasking, do not, like many a times we are picking up the calls, attending to the messages and getting distracted. Do not do that. Do the deep work. 2 hours, 3 hours if you are putting in continuously in a very calm and cool environment, sir. That will give you a very much confidence, and you can recall it better. You know that things are moving fast in your preparation, sir. Yes. So at times, time is very much required for everybody. Yeah. But if you are a working professional, you should maximize your time. That is what I'm saying. What is the point that I'm trying to make? And apart from that, sir, for working professionals, physical fitness is something that is required. Yeah. At times we are very much tired. Yeah. We go to hospital, we come back, and then you are drained, physically drained. But keep yourself fit. Have adequate sleep. Yes. People compromise on their sleep. I always say that it is not sustainable to study for 11 to 12 hours more than 5 days. You can, so 5 days, because this is something that I maximum read between those means ka paper, between GS and optional. You have 5 days. Maximum you can read for 12 hours. Maximum. This is maximum that you can read for continuously 5 days. So, when you are coming close to a prelims examination, you feel that you have a lot of things yet to read, and you try to put in 13, 14, 15 hours. But at times, what would happen that you do it for 2 to 3 days, and then you give up, or then you are not physically drained, and then you sleep the entire day. So the effective number of hours comes down. So ensure that you have a proper structured schedule which includes effective number of hours of sleep. Have good sleep. Even if you are feeling sleepy at times, and if you feel that I have to read, do not do that. Just go and sleep, because attention is more important rather than the number of hours. If you are giving 2 hours for study with full attention and 6 hours of study with
Very less attention.
with here and there, then obviously that first one would be more effective, sir. So in this manner, sir, you can manage within the limited time frames.
Yes. And also, what is the role of the social support which is required in this examination? Because many of the candidates also say that they had to cut off completely from the social support, and they had to focus only on preparation. So is this really true, or so? What is your opinion?
Sir, first is that you should minimize your social circles, because the more expanded your social circles are, the more commitments you have. So, in this preparation, which requires most of your hours, minimize your social interactions, reduce your circle, pick and choose, sir. Keep those people in your close circle which are supportive in nature, which know you honestly, which are genuinely happy for you, genuinely supportive for you, and maintain that close, small support system of friends and with family also. And also ensure that you do not get distracted or do not be in that group or of social circle which are of distracting in nature, especially in these areas or in these regions where there's a huge student community. It is very easy to get distracted. You meet one person, you then meet a second person, then that will lead to third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Circle expands very fast. So keep limited circle. Keep your circle very limited, because it is mostly, sir, the negative impact that it will have on your studies and your productivity. And the circle should always be very genuine, very helpful, very mature, very supportive.
Same frequency.
Yes, sir. So it can be from your preparation background, it can be outside your preparation background. That is your choice. But be choosy in this process. Be a little selfish about this, as in choosing people around who would be around you, sir. Because at times when there is very ups and lows in your entire journey, you have to go through a lot. And if you do not have a good circle, then it becomes a vicious cycle. So it's very much needed, sir. And in my case, I have limited my social circle. I kept very few people close to me, and I have kept a very those friends which have been long associated with me from medical background or from schools. I have been in touch with them. So these are some genuine connections that you build across time. So they are very much helpful when you need them. They are people who are genuinely happy for you, genuinely happy for your success, pray for your success. Otherwise, there's a whole
Yeah.
a whole negative aspect of it if you have a alternate circle, sir. And in that, family role is also important.
Yes.
Many of us do not have that luxury, that financial support or financial privilege that people have. Uh, but whatever you can manage of things, this support from family is very much required in the entire journey, and it should be also a motivation for you, because if you are able to perform, then family, then you develop a trust, and people develop your trust in you,
Yes.
that you are doing something right. If you're not able to give results, then somehow that trust fades away, or
Yes.
trust weakens actually. So this should be a motivation for you, that you have to work hard, you have to consistently do whatever you are doing, you give your best in the process.
So it's a two-way road, right?
Yes,
So you
sir.
have to give them something to trust you.
It's human nature, sir. You cannot do much about it. It's human nature. I mean, it may sound somehow harsh, but it is the reality.
Yes, true. Yes. Okay, so let's take some questions from our audience.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Anything you want to ask specifically?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I would like to know that you cleared in your first attempt also, along with foundation course. You were making notes. You had class notes also, and along with that, you said practicing questions and giving tests. So, how did you manage all these things, and also the mistakes that you would suggest we should not repeat from your experiences?
Yep. So I'd like to add something also, because this is relevant, very relevant for those who are, so attending their foundation course. We have a lot of foundation course students who are going to appear for, so 2026. They always have this issue of managing the time. So how to do everything, and so in that sense.
Here comes the part of organization. You have to be organized. Divide your time. Keep track of every hour that you spend each day. Sir, during my preparation, during the later half, during the months of close to prelims and during means, I would have a schedule which would have every hour the idea of whatever I will do in the coming day, I'll have it earlier jotted down, that this is 9 to 10, I will be doing this, 10 to 11, I'll be doing this, 11 to 12, I will be doing this. So, if you build a very hourly schedule, the hourly schedule is something that allows you to be on track of yourself, that how much you are able to do, and how much you can improve, how much you can maximize your hours, because we have limited time. You are in foundation course, so you have to keep track of your time first. Second thing is that whenever you are making schedule, if you are making a schedule for let's say this week, so in 1 week you would be realizing that, okay, I have planned for this 1 hour that I'll read this and this, but it was not getting completed in that hour. So when you make the next schedule, you adjust those hours. Everybody has their own pace of doing things, own pace of learning, or own pace of making notes, own pace of revising content. So your schedule should be very dynamic, in the sense that it should adapt to you. You should your schedule should adapt according to how you are able to are you able to follow that schedule. Apart from this, as I already said, for working professionals where time is very, very much limited, you have to pick and choose those ways, those techniques which will help you maximize your efforts or maximize your time. So if you are going to make notes on your own, for entire thing, it might kill your time.
Yes.
It is recommended for those who are in college and they are doing preparation. They can make their own notes by own hand. So if you have limited time, then you should outsource that work. many institutes are doing this for you. Yes. They are making compilations for you. You should take it. The hazard is that people take the compilation, take the PDF, compile it and keep it there. Do not do that. Just get the compilation, get good quality content from different sources and limit it. Have a limit on how much number of content you would be referring to. And in those hours, you would be able to know that if I have to read polity or if I have to complete polity in these number of days, then you know that I have a polity book, I have classes with me, I have notes with me, and I have some value addition content with me. Now, when you have all the resources at one place, you find the right way in which you can consolidate all within those limited time frame, and then you have to remove those extra content. For me, when I was sure that my Lakshmikant or the more or less 90-95% of the important content of Lakshmikant is in my notes, my revision notes, I would remove Lakshmikant from my table so that it does not build temptation also, sir. At times, because when the prelims will approach, you will have that tendency or temptation to follow everything. कि मैं ये भी बुकलेट पढ़ लूँगा और ये जो सोर्स को भी रिवाइज कर लूँगा, क्लास नोट्स भी अलग रखे हुए हैं, उसको नहीं. You have to at this point of time where around 70-80 days are left, you have to focus on consolidation so that when the time arrives, you are able to revise multiple times within the limited time frame. Just focus on consolidating your content in the limited time that you have. Consolidation is more important than going into early revision. Yes. What happens that if you have four booklets with you, and now you are revising this booklet, this booklet, this booklet, this booklet, it is consuming a lot of time. Rather, you should give your time first into consolidating all these four. Once you have consolidating all these, then you have this booklet that you can revise multiple times when the examination arrives or when you have to give mock papers. So focus on productivity, focus on consolidation, focus on maximizing your efforts. Use online content. I'm like, I would again say use online content, online mediums, online platforms to maximize your time, maximize your efforts, and be disciplined. Be disciplined. Discipline comes with schedules. Schedule is something that will make it a process, that will make it a system. Actually, if you analyze in real life, the people who have achieved a lot in life, they have one thing in common, that they have been able to build systems. If you are able to build systems, you will achieve great heights. So if you are preparing for it, build a system for it. Build a system that is specifically that is catering to you, that is specifically catering to the demand of the examination. Build a system for yourself. And when the system, when you create a system, then everything becomes secondary. Everything becomes secondary. For MNCs, people punch at 9 o'clock because that is a system, that is a system created. Yeah. Nobody cares about what you feel, what you did last night. So a system is there. So that separates emotions, that separates other things from your core focus area. So try to use online content, try to be disciplined, keep track of every hour you spend. If you are sitting here, you should understand that, okay, if I have spent 1 or 2 hours here, what I did learn from it. So this is also an important aspect, that if you are hearing, in my attempts or initial first attempts, I used to hear a lot of toppers talk, because I knew that I am new to preparation. I might not be knowing new things. We are actually very eager to have a self-confidence that I know everything. Very initially, even in 2-3 months, you would have the confidence that, okay, I have cracked this examination, I know how to do, but you have to learn. At least for few, give time to listen to those toppers talk. I would say I had this Bluetooth earphone with me. Even if I am traveling or if I am doing some non-serious work, I would have this Bluetooth earphone with me, and then I would be listening something productive, something that could enhance my skills, enhance my preparation. So this is how you maximize time. So have that track of every hour that you have. This is the way that you can proceed.
So our foundation student, they are also similar to working professionals.
Right,
There's the
sir.
shortage of time. They have to consider the fact. So yeah. So next question.
Sir, firstly, many congratulations on your remarkable success.
Thank you so much.
Sir, if I may know, what key changes or major improvements you introduced in your preparation after earlier attempts that made the difference in this attempt? And sir, my second question is that could you please guide regarding your approach towards the ethics and AC papers, especially about value addition in these papers?
Sure. Uh, so, as far as your first question is concerned, how I was able to improve from earlier attempts. So, in whichever means you write, you have some content, you have some approaches to write, and then you go and give the examination. After the examination, you get certain marks. After the results are released, you know, okay, I have good marks in this subject and this paper has not performed well. You analyze then. When there's a second means, you analyze them. And when you return and you see the previous year papers, then you would be seeing it with a very different lens. That analysis might not happen at the first stage, because at that point of time you were doing your best, you were giving your best, whatever you felt that this is the best way of writing, this is the best content that I can write. After 1 year or in the second attempt, you would realize, okay, I should have improved this, I should have included these contents. So there is always a scope of improvement in means, because it is a subjective examination. There's a lot of variables of your essay, ethics, GS papers, anthropology. So based on the marks that you have gotten, or based on the trend of marks that you have gotten in your test series, and also, sir, in Abhyas, the marks that I used to get. So I used to analyze what all I could have improved on that aspect. When you are able to analyze, or when you are able to find those loopholes, those gaps, you try to fill it. Sometimes, for me, sir, I changed. Initially in first attempt, I had a handwriting that was a good handwriting, but it was slow.
Okay.
So I used to write professional examination in my college with that handwriting, but here I realized that it is not able, I would not be able to write 50 pages with this pace. So during my preparation phase in my internship, I developed a new handwriting.
Okay.
So those writing was always there. The running notes was type handwriting, but then I tried to make it better. So this is the point I am trying to make is be organic in your approach, evolve accordingly. If the exam demands something, you have to attend to that. This exam demanded that I cannot write with that handwriting that I already have in GS paper, sir. But I kept that handwriting for essay paper, sir. So because because there's a scope of improvement in every paper. At times you might realize that you might not have addressed the question itself. At times it happens, sir, that you could not realize that what aspect of the question is being asked, and you understood it completely differently. Second, at times it also happens that the kind of structuring that you were doing was not correct, or not in line with what others were writing, or what toppers did write, or what the people who have gotten good marks wrote. So you improve on that. You improve on your timings. Like in initial attempts, it happens that we are not able to complete the paper on time. So you practice it well. So in later attempts, I always had this issue initially, sir, that I was not able to complete the paper. Although in the real examination I was able to complete the paper, but here when writing tests, sir, I was a little like 310, 315 it used to go. But in later attempts, I become very strict about it, that I would, because if you are writing here 310, 315, so I was able to finish the paper there also. But somehow that cycle or that timeline distorts. So later on, I made it sure that I would write in 3 hours. I would ensure that I would write or complete all the questions in decent format. It happens, sir, like 1 or 2 questions you have to compromise on, but also your approach to the paper evolves. Initially, I had this approach that I'll write 4 10 markers, then all the 15 markers, and then last 6 10 markers. But later on, I realized that when the copy is being checked, so initially 4 questions are good enough to give an impression that you are a good writer or you know the content. But then I realized why should I, like the later 6 questions were in somehow getting compromised, because if even if you are crossing the time by 5 minutes and you are left with only 30-35 minutes in the end, it becomes very difficult to write 6 questions in that. So later on, I evolved this. I went on doing 8 questions initially, 8 10 markers, then 15 markers all, and then last 2 10 markers, because I knew that 1 or 2 questions would be compromised. So I would rather compromise 10 markers rather than 15 markers. So this is something that the point I'm trying to make is be organic with your approach. There's always a scope of improvement. There's always a scope where you can evolve your approach to this examination, evolve your answer writing, evolve your approach to paper. There's no fixed approach. There's 100 of ways of clearing this examination. For me, this worked. For you, something else might work. But we need to see that there is a scope of improvement. We should have that attitude, that there's some scope of improvement that I can do. Or then you would also be open to criticisms. You would be open to feedbacks from your mentors, from your teachers, from your those people who are reviewing your answers. So slowly you would be able to actually improve on your answers, and this is what slowly helped me improving my answers and ultimately getting rank in these 2 years. And as far as your second question is concerned about essay and ethics, I would say my approach was similar to that of mathematics. I would say in ethics is one subject which will require a structured guidance from a teacher, something that is not being taught anywhere else. It is a new subject. It is a new subject that has been created. So somebody who has very good knowledge, somebody who is a very good mentor, teacher, you should be under the guidance of that teacher to understand the subject. Now, when you have understood the subject, before you make the entire notes or you make the final notes of yours, what you would do is that what I did was I approached it in the manner of mathematics, where we have multiple formula and some step-by-step things, and then we approach the questions. Okay. Similarly, in ethics, if you know the keywords, if you know the examples, if you know the templates, if you know the way of structuring the content, then you do not need to have content for each topic. As in, there's no perfect content that you can make for aptitude or attitude or emotional intelligence. So you have some information that, okay, this is the definition of this topic. This is some aspects related to it. This is a template that I would be using in this topic. These are some examples here. And then when the question comes, because questions are very dynamic in ethics, they will link this aspect to this to this, aptitude to emotional resilience, or maybe probity to honesty or something like that. So they will be linking a lot of things. So if you know all these aspects and you have made notes for them at different places in different sections, so you would be picking and choosing things from them and you would be writing accordingly. Second thing is that ethics, there is a huge importance of keywords because ethics is a new subject. So whatever the examiner is looking is, they are looking for the subject specific keywords. This goes for optional also, this goes for GS also. But ethics, it becomes very much different because initially, sir, I used to prepare and then I felt कि responsibility ही तो लिखा है या transparency ही तो लिखा है. I'll write that. I did not put conscious effort in that. Later on, I realized that I have to put conscious effort in these words. I made a list of those words, whichever place I used to see it, and I used to revise it. And also, I made a segregation of those words that if honesty is there, then I should also remember integrity, or if the similar words, consistency is there, then there should be perseverance word should be there. They are similar words. So I divided those words into similar kind words should be at one place, so that when I write answers, there should not be repetition of words, and there are multiple types of words or terminologies that I am able to write in the answers. Third thing is that ethics, I'm still talking about the first part, section A of the ethics paper. I'll tell you about the section B. Section A also, there should be a dynamic approach in the sense that there are different types of questions. There are some questions where there is a quote written and you have to write on it. There are some questions where simply write the importance of this. Or there would be some questions which are hugely analytical. So in those 10 markers, you should have a different approach. Like in all my entire papers, I used to write in point-wise format. But then I realized that these quote-based questions, they are better addressed when I write in paragraphs. And it used to save my time also, somehow.
Yes.
So have a tailor-made approach for all these types of questions. Apart from that, in ethics paper, the examples becomes very much important. So there are some classical examples that everybody writes from civil services and from general current affairs. But there are some examples that you have to pick from the recent happenings, some few different examples that might not be written by other candidates. So do not run after it. Like whatever organically comes to you, you are reading current affairs and it seems like, okay, this is some happening that I can use it in my ethics answers, then you write it. Here comes the role of iPad, because iPad is always with you. Even if you are not reading ethics, if you are coming across something, you write there. So have that diversity in your examples. And few things can be also pre-prepared. So some conclusion or some intro can be very much prepared in advance, because ethics is very limited syllabus. The repetition, the formulation of the question is different, but topics are very much limited. So at times you can have a pre-prepared intros and conclusion with you, which you can write. There is this EI question that always comes, emotional intelligence. You should know that you have to quote Daniel Goleman and then you have to write, and there's a very precise line that has been given by him. So be precise with introduction. In body, you are able to address the question which is being asked. At times, it becomes very difficult to actually understand what to write in body. In ethics paper, it actually happens. So by practice, you would be able to understand how to structure your answers, give the adequate number of examples. You can make small diagrams, not run after diagrams. Like people say, you have to have diagrams in all the. I have tried and tested all these things. I'm telling you, but then content is the king. If you have good content, you have precise content which are precise to the question that being asked, then you would be rewarded. If you are doing something extra at the cost of the content, then it might not appear good to the examiner. So this is broadly about section A. Section B is this case studies. Case studies is purely framework based. So there are two kind of case studies that is asked. One that where is the classical ones where they will ask about the stakeholders or these ethical issues or ethical dilemma, and then they will ask you what are the options available and evaluate all of them, and then what would be your course of action. These are the classical ones. So in 6 case studies, you would be able to find 3 to 4 questions on this trend. In recent years, there are 1 or 2, 3 questions which are not on this framework, where there would be a long list of long case study related to some topic or related to domestic violence and all. And in question, they will be simply asking what can we do for domestic violence prevention and all. So you have to understand the changing trend. So this allowed you to prepare yourself in advance, because these questions, the second ones, they allow you to save time. Because when we write those merits and demerits first wala type question, there's a lot of time that is consumed. So you can save time in the second ones. You analyze the papers and you would see the pattern. Then in ethical dilemma, what I did, sir, I had a very much difficulty in getting those keywords or getting those dilemmas, how to write. So what I did, I went through those toppers copies and those solutions. I wrote down all the ethical dilemmas that have been mentioned, and then I could see the pattern. Okay, these are some repetitive things that can be like ends and means and egoism versus altruism and environment versus economy. So these kind of ethical dilemmas, I could see the pattern. And I could also see that there are only limited types of areas that are being focused by. So there would be some questions related to environment, related to women, related to some corruption issue, some conflict of interest issue, or these are some 7, 8, 9 types of topics which are generally asked, broadly asked. So I would, because I would analyzing a lot of answer copies, so I would know that these ethical dilemmas fit in these ones. These ethical dilemmas fit in these ones. So I did this practice where I would be preparing those 8, 9 classical topics of ethics case studies. I would be preparing those contents, because at no place everything is written. But if you analyze a lot of papers, a lot of content, you can at least put a decent content where if you write 5 to 7 points, then at least you can remember 3 to 4 in the examination hall. And then also in merits and demerits. Merits and demerits, people write just idhar ka merit, idhar ka demerit. But then I realized yes. So I realized okay, if I'm able to put some ethical keyword here and there, even in merit and demerit, that might fetch me a good, that might be logical, or that might be value-added content. And in way forward also, ethics one thing that worked for me a lot is that I read about a lot of scholars, and in this process, I got interest into psychology, I got interest into philosophy, little, because this ChatGPT thing, this allows you to expand the horizon of your knowledge, the intellectual curiosity that you have. You can read about anything you can read. And sir, initially when I started preparation, I was not able to understand the difference between what Socrates said and what Aristotle said. So that was very difficult to understand when you are reading from the books and all. But slowly I get to understand, okay, this is Socrates, this is Aristotle, this is his approach is different from this. There are many streams of thought of scholars which fit in. Also, there are polar aspects. So somebody would be focusing on means, somebody would be focusing on ends, somebody would be focusing on utilitarianism, somebody would be focusing on this deontology, somebody would be saying that emotions are important. Somebody would saying that the practical aspect is important. Somebody would say that men are emotional, humans are emotional. Somebody would say humans are practical or rational beings. So I would see the pattern that there are a number of spectrum, the spectrum can be created of different scholars, and I could fit them. So then I realized that I have like 20, 25, 30 scholars that I know, at least basic ones, from psychology, from philosophy, and from a little from sociology also. So this allows you a very good quality content that you can put in the examination. So many questions that are being asked, if you are able to put these philosophers, their ideas, their keywords, you just need to know that this philosopher has this mindset. If you know the mindset of the Voltaire, if you know the background of the Voltaire, you understand why he was saying about the freedom of speech and all. So just read about these philosophers. This is something that is highly productive, that will give you good marks, or that is of good quality content. And these philosophers I have compiled. So they would be used in those last aspect of your case studies, where you would be giving justification of why you choose this path. So in this manner, I was able to map out everything. Sir, like examples, you see the various IS civil servant examples that we have. I used to not feel, after 3-4 examples, I used to like not able to remember others. So what I did, I made an India map. I then put everybody in who is from where, and then that stuck to me. So if I am writing somebody from, let's say, Bihar, I know I would next time I would be writing in the next page, I would be writing from somebody from Tamil Nadu, somebody from Gujarat, and all. So this allowed me a diversity of examples,
The
and
picturization, yes.
the figurative way of learning things.
Yes.
So this is the overall approach.
Even I tell in the class that you can use maps not only in geography, you can use in every subject.
Yes, sir.
It gives that visualization and spatial.
I did, sir. I did, in fact, for geography, for environment, for art and culture.
Nice.
Art and culture, you see those topics which are not asked in details, just their word association is asked.
Yes.
So if you put them in map format, like folk painting, they would not be asking about the features of the every folk painting that you have.
It's the location and region.
Just location, region, you know, maybe one fact or so.
Yeah.
But so that I used to map in India map, and because I was doing it online, so I had the luxury of adding anything which was possible for me.
Yes.
So use extensively map. And last essay, sir, I would just briefly tell. Sure. So in essay, essay is all about analytical skills. As I earlier said, that I did not used to read newspapers, but I regularly used to read articles that are already being picked by somebody on Telegram. Somebody is just mentioning that this article is important, this article is important. I would just read those articles, which allowed me a focused way of doing things. If you're reading a newspaper, there's a lot of unnecessary content that you are looking at the headlines and all. But if you are reading the articles, you get the very focused content from the Telegram channel. And then reading articles is very much important because it improves your reading skills, learning skills, and then when these skills improve over the time, then you are able to replicate it in the essay writing. So read articles regularly from online forums. Then what I did was for essay, I did extensive analysis of all the papers that have come in the last 10-12 years, and I could somehow analyze that there are some 20-25 broad headings that are being asked. Maybe the content of the quote would be different, the philosophical topics would be different, but they are being asked from these 20-25 topics.
Yes.
Like one topic is repetition of history. So repetition of history is one topic which will come here and there in every second, third year in different format. But if you have the content on repetition of history, So here, ChatGPT helped me a lot.
Okay.
I extensively searched for the content, what all quotes are related to repetition of history. It will give a lot of content. Then I have to filter out. Okay, I need to just know 4 or 5 that I can mention. Then repetition of history, you need to have examples. So at least you have, because in real time you may not be able to recall all those until unless you have beforehand prepared that thing. So repetition of history, you might have, let's say 20-25 examples are already there, like 10-12 to classical examples are there. So you prepare it from, I prepared it from ChatGPT, had that content in me, but I did not run after a lot of content because there's no end to it, sir. I knew that I should have some content, some solid content related to each heading, whichever is feasible, which is feasible in the limited time that I have. Do not prepare entire content for it. Just have some examples, some unique things about that topic, some quotes related to that topic, and you prepare those 20-25 headings. Second, you have to prepare introductions. So introductions, I preferred that it should be a little dramatic. Introduction, at least in one essays, like those in which the way the novels are written. So they will be dramatized in 1 or 2 lines. So I knew that real life anecdotes is something that is better introduction rather than other things. Like people write fictional anecdotes which are not so much good or not impressive.
Catchy in terms of
not catchy. So I have some real historical examples. So some event that has happened, some one-day events, French Revolution at one day, that falling of Bastille, or one-day events like Hitler killing himself, or one-day events like India's independence, or one-day event like Chanakya was thrown out of the court. So these are some classical events which everybody is writing. I'm saying everybody is writing. What I did was I tried to prepare it in a dramatized manner so that initial 1 to 3 lines are good. At least I'm able to leave a mark. So ChatGPT would help you in this, that you can dramatize initial few lines so that it becomes catchy, and you should have multiple examples, like multiple intros like this, where related to the topic that is being asked, which one fits there, you use that, and then you start with the flow of the essay, structure it well, you give the snapshot in the beginning, and then you structure it well. 1 or 2 special thing that I did for essays was examples from nature. Nature as in birds or trees or sunlight or earth or maybe some lion or fox. So these are some examples from nature which are not many people would be writing. So I picked those major ones, those examples from nature. I prepared it in a manner which is catchy. So if I have to mention about lion is very choosy about its prey, or winds, or let's say the tsunami winds or the storm winds. So the trees that bends, they survive.
Yes.
So this kind of way in which it should be written in a correct manner.
Yes.
So these kind of nature examples, I felt that I should put in 1 or 2 here and there. So this would leave a better mark on my content. Second was personal examples. So personal examples, people say you should write personal examples, but we do not have many personal examples like that you can write in essay. What I made up, I made personal examples. So
That's very smart.
you should make, like, not faking it, but you should, they are not asking that you should be Like you make personal
Can be
examples in the
with- can
sense
be with respect to anyone.
Personal examples can that appears genuine in the
Yes.
sense that whenever a reader is they are not knowing your face, just you are just a writer. So personal example where which connects to our real life, which connects our relationship with our brother, with our friends, with our spouse, with our family, with our then with our child, with our grandparents. So some examples you can make up. So these topics that are currently coming, these philosophical topics, they have a huge scope of including these personal examples, whether it is about perseverance, whether it is about honesty, whether it is about anything. These philosophical topics, these personal examples will make you stand out little. And in the end, I was also preparing conclusions, some ready-made conclusions that I knew that I will be putting it because I did not have to think at that moment. So these there are limited ways. Do not go after a lot of conclusions. Just stick to some lines, some major ones which you are able to recall. Otherwise, what happens that you start writing a line, 2 lines, and then you forget what is the third line, then it becomes blunder. So prepare conclusion in advance. And in the paper, what you should do is that how I approached it, sir. I would write. I would choose I would give around 5 minutes to choose the topics, which is very much important.
Yes.
And when you have chosen the topic, I would start the framing of the second essay. Second essay, you make the framework on what to write in intro, what all headings should come, what all examples you would be putting in, what is the broad conclusion that you will be drawing, and then I would start. Then I will shift to first essay framework.
We'll just write the framework and then
No, sir.
we'll write the essay also. Second.
No.
Okay.
I'll
Just the
start
framework.
with the framework of second, then the framework of
Framework of
first,
first.
and then write first essay.
Okay.
So there is a continuity. Otherwise, what happens if you write the framework first, then second, and then you are again going back to first? So वो incongruence आ जाता है. So this way, I was able to ensure that I am making framework on time, and then I have divided the time with pages. So I'm not able to recall how much time it becomes. So you analyze like 15 minutes, 30, 35 minutes you have. So around 6 to 7 minutes per page is there.
Okay.
So 6 to 7 minutes you should keep tab on your clock that you are writing the sufficient number of pages as per your schedule, and it should be dynamic like it was in my mains also. So initially your flow is slow, so you should give more time to initial pages.
Yes.
And last, because you have to conclude, you would be thinking a lot.
Yes.
So give adequate time to end. Maybe in between you would be writing in a very fluid manner, so you can reduce the time. Similarly in mains also, I used to give 5 minutes extra for initial questions total, because I knew that in the initial time when I am writing, I am not in the flow. Also, there would be teacher who would be coming, invigilator who would be coming to make you fill that form and all. So I should not feel burdened, or I should not have. I should have that flexibility. So make the timings according to the real life scenarios. It should not be like I have to write in 7.5 minutes all answers. ऐसा नहीं होता. It is based on, you can write an answer in 6 minutes also, but that depends on the which phase of the 3 hours you are. Initially you would be writing very slow. So this manner I was able to plan essays, and after some point of time I was focusing mainly on philosophical essays, because the other ones, I felt that I would not be able to put good quality content. Maybe it might look like GS answers, writing on health, writing on poverty or women and all. women is still something that you can write. So I was able to get consistently good scores in essay, except this year, which dragged me down for God knows which reason. It happens, but because this is the examination process, it happens with everybody. But for essay, I was very structured with the content that I will collect, that I will present in the essay format. So,
Just one last question, sir.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam.
Sir, I am here to get some tips. The foundation course is going on. You need to practice on it. You need to remember. You have to practice for mains. There are many things. In spite of that, you are also preparing for state PCS like BPSC. So there are so many things. You have to read the newspaper too. So sometimes you think that chhod chhad ke chale jao ghar bas. So it's just like a very pressure situation. So were you preparing for a state PCS, and what should do on that position?
Sir, I was fortunately able to clear state PSS examination last year.
Oh, okay.
But to be very honest, I did not prepare. I went there casually. At least prelims, maybe I might have read a few days. Means I was very much confident. Every year you are confident that you are clearing UPSC examination. I went there. I wrote because Bihar PCS syllabus is very limited actually.
Okay.
So I did not had to put a lot of efforts. I just wrote it.
Yes.
And I was fortunate to get some rank. So that was not my goal, or never had been my second fallback option.
Okay.
Because I knew that I would be able to do something here only in UPSC.
Okay, so your fallback option would be continuing the doctor, or are you doing something?
Maybe I had hope. Hope is something that keeps you going on.
Yeah. That's good.
So for those who are actually trying, or who are actually thinking about a fallback option to a state PCS examination, a lot depends on the exam cycle. If the exam cycle demands is such that UPSC and state PCS examination is aligned in such a manner that you can get adequate time, then you can actually attempt seriously, sir.
Yes.
Because many states, at least Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, if you are preparing for UPSC examination, there's a huge overlap, except for few parts in prelims. I guess means is very much doable for UPSC aspirants. So that depends on your priorities actually. If you are single-minded that you have to give entire focus on UPSC, do not digress from this that okay, I'll get some state PCS posts. Or if your situation is such, everybody has their own scenarios. If your situation is such that you have to get some result, at least to get stable, you want to get stable somewhere. So I would say that whichever state PCS examination you are appearing or you are trying to appear, try to find some commonalities in both of them. So for UPPCS, means of UPPCS and Bihar or UPSC is same. UPPCS means and UPSC means paper 1, 2, 3, 4 are almost same. In fact, same, except GS4 paper. Then you can align those preparation. Also, in UPPCS prelims, most of the current affairs and these static subjects, polity, economic, geography, more or less they are same, except few parts they are asking differently related to some institutions or going to some little more details. So you can prepare it a little separately, but do not digress from UPSC preparation. If you want to prepare for both, just ensure that some common grounds are, whichever common grounds are there, you identify it, prepare wholeheartedly on that, and those extra things that are required for state PCS examination, you can devote some time based on your schedule. Everything boils down to schedule. If you are able to make schedule, you can do anything. Like if I have 8 hours, if I am able to dedicate 2 hours to a state PCS examination, you would be in a position where you would be managing both. You can manage both. It's not something that is not doable. But if you do not have a plan in mind, then it becomes very haphazard, very difficult to go about it.
In fact, that is the most important challenge most of the first timer, the foundation students would face. So there's classes going on, there's optional classes going on, and they fail to develop a proper schedule, proper routine, because of which they find it to be totally haphazard and shortage of time. So time is the same for everyone. If somebody is able to do that with the proper planning, you're not able to do that. So that means you have to.
So for me, it was always, as I said, sir, my each hour was planned.
Nice.
If I am giving 10 hours to study, 9 hours to study, my each hour was planned that I will be doing this. So if it is 2:30 in the afternoon, I knew that I have to get back to my table.
Yes.
So there's no compromise with that, because I knew that if I do not get back to the table, if I do not go back to the library, this aspect, this chapter which I have already planned would get missed, and then I would have a pile up of things which I might not be able to do. Yes. And when you become disciplined, it becomes a habit, sir.
Yes.
Then you do not think about it. It becomes subconscious, sir.
It's wonderful. Okay. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you
So
so
my
much.
question to you that what was your strategy and approach for CSAT and also GS3, especially economics section?
I'll briefly tell about this. CSAT, what I did for CSAT is that we have 80 questions, and they are from comprehension, they are from mathematics and reasoning as well. So I analyzed all these trends of past few years, and I felt that I was good in comprehension, and then I ensured that I attend maximum number of comprehensions. So which you need to analyze the paper, give some mock tests, and then identify which part of the CSAT you are more comfortable with. Are you good with reasoning? Are you good with mathematics? Are you good with comprehension? So build at least one strength, because if you have one strength, then you can get a more number of questions with that. If comprehension have around 28, 29 questions. So I knew that if I'm able to attempt maximum number, even if 3-4 goes wrong, I'm in a very comfortable position, sir. As far as reasoning is concerned, these days, paper is shifting more towards reasoning rather than mathematics. Pure mathematics questions are not there. Rather, they will build the question in such a manner that you have to be present at that moment and maximize your time in a manner that limited time pe you attempt that question. So it comes with practice. You can solve only this only with practice, because without practice you cannot. You can read a lot of content related to CSAT. You can watch a lot of CSAT videos, but these reasoning questions, if you do not practice, you cannot solve in real examination, because every year that their approach changes. The kind of reasoning questions they ask, many questions are solvable, but because you do not have the practice, either you waste time, a lot of time is wasted, or either you end up leaving that question. So find one strength of yours. Second, practice a lot. Practice CSAT. Do not run after a lot of lectures and lot of formula and shortcuts. Even in mathematics, if you know the basic ones, like 4 or 5 formulas, basic ones, area of circle, area of triangle, these kind of basic formulas then the questions can be solved. But it all boils down to the practice. Some areas you can identify which are repetitive, or which are whose questions are being continuously asked. If you are able to if you're able to read those, or if you're able to master those areas, then that could be of a benefit. For example, sir, I was not good with probability questions initially, sir. Later on, I realized because it becomes difficult if you leave a lot of probability questions. A lot of probability questions directly or indirectly comes up. So in one attempt, I gave a lot of emphasis and focus on probability questions. I learned all because I did not have maths background, neither in 11th or 12th. So I learned about probability. I solved a lot of questions, and then I came to understand that those questions which I was not able to attempt, or which was seemingly very difficult, were actually the questions of probability. So find some areas which are continuously being asked, master that topic, and ultimately all boils down to your approach of the paper. Ensure that whichever paper you are attempting, ensure that you attempt it in 2 hours. Have a plan in your mind that how many questions will you be doing in the paper. One different approach that I would like to tell is that in CSAT, sir, what I did, that whenever the paper used to come to me, in the back side on the rough sheet, I used to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ऐसे करके, or even not the complete number, 1 dot 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 5 dot 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 10 11 dot 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 15 ऐसे करके 50 55 तक लिख लिया. Then what I used to do, that whichever questions I am solving, I would be solving, and then I will be marking with the on the OMR sheet. So I used to strike off कि एक क्वेश्चन हो गया, 2 क्वेश्चन हो गया, 3 क्वेश्चन हो गया. इससे क्या होता है कि you are able to keep track of the questions, number of questions that you have attempted. So कई बार ऐसा होता है, एक बार अभ्यास में सर it happened with me that I was not able to attempt the number of questions that I planned. Then I realized, this might happen in real exam as well. So this was a technique that I felt कि in the real time, when the half an hour is over, I knew, okay, I have approached only this number of questions. When the 1 hour is clocked, then I knew that, okay, I need to maintain the pace. Or let's suppose whatever I have planned, or suppose like 1 hour में 30 questions मैंने कर लिए. So now there is a sense of comfort कि नहीं ठीक है, सही जा रहा है. Now I have to ensure that I get above 50 or 55. Yes, sir. तो वो बहुत important है. Otherwise, what happens that we keep on marking, and in the end, when we have only 5, 10, 20, 15 minutes left, then we realize कि we have only marked 35 questions or 40 questions. So it becomes very difficult, and it is very dangerous actually. So ensure that you attempt minimum 45 questions, 40 to 45 question minimum should be there, so that you are in a safe range. Or also ensure कि कुछ ट्रिक्स एंड टेक्निक्स आप सीख सकते हो बेस्ड ऑन क्वेश्चंस. कई बार क्वेश्चंस ऐसे होते हैं सर कि इफ़ यू आर एबल टू नो द पैटर्न, you know where it is coming from, then or the similar question that has been asked in PYQ, you can guess in 5 to 10 seconds and you can mark it. So that is a huge jump of 2.5 marks.
Yes.
So this is the broad strategy for CSAT that you can follow.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll have an interaction in the end. Okay, so one last question from my end.
Yes, sir.
So in your long journey, so we are very happy to be a small part of your journey as part of VisionIAS. So if you could tell us 3 most valuable things which you got it from Vision, as a small nubs of feedback we can take it.
Sir, VisionIAS, it is the platform where I started this journey, and it took me years of preparation and everything to move from there to here. And this first is the foundation course, which actually really benefited me in building the base. Lot of good teachers which actually sensitized me or introduced me to humanities subject and society aspect. Smriti ma'am is there. So the first one is this foundation course, indeed. Second, sir, I would say so it is very difficult to choose three, sir. I can.
You can.
So, test series, prelims test series, mains test series, both are excellent. Like I had two options in each of them. Vision was on top priority of both of them. Then we have this Abhyas test series, Abhyas mock test. I both in prelims and mains, in almost each attempt, I tried to give this test because it provides a real-time environment. Also, it gives you a sense of competition. At times when we are in library or at home, we are not able to somehow you become complacent.
Yes.
Kind of when you see a huge crowd who is intensively doing,
You get
intensively
the actual
writing.
feel of UPSC.
So you get the feel, and that is very much required. Then, sir, Mains 365, I diligently followed it.
Nice.
And it allowed me to, because I had a listing of top topics, I knew which all topics to fit in.
Okay.
So Mains 365, in my first attempt itself, what I did was, because the content was limited, but I knew the topics. So I went through last 3 years of Mains 365.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
So because I knew there's contemporary affairs is something that is being asked.
Yes.
So those topics are repetitive. They will be coming this year also, if they have been asked in last 2-3 years. So I compiled those things and made notes out of it.
Nice.
And this daily current affairs, sir, in interviews, this was something I used to travel. I used to listen to this daily current affairs on my Bluetooth, and then when I came back or when I am studying, the best part was that along with the this video, you have 4 pages of content which is very organized. And I was good at organizing, so I liked those content which are already organized. Nice. So that actually helped me keep track of every thing that is happening in real time. Otherwise, there are a lot of daily current affairs videos on YouTube, but because they are not being given in such a manner or in a manner which is more suitable for us. So these were major ones which actually benefit. Otherwise, and apart from this, we already have enrichment content that is provided by the institute, which helped me a lot in content enrichment both for prelims and mains. A lot of compilations come from VisionIAS. I use them. In mains, the compilations of major judgments, committee names, for factual information. They are very much organized. So I utilized them. I included them because they are already organized. So it becomes very much easier to copy or take a screenshot and paste wherever I like it. So these were some broad ones. and in every step of this examination, I was here, I was writing tests, I was getting feedbacks, I was coming for mock interviews. Nice. So this has been a very cherished journey for me, and I am truly grateful for this institute that provided me a very structured guidance.
Thank you very much, Wasim. So it's our pleasure to have played a very small role in your success, because so the major credit goes to the student itself. Okay, so and it's very wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much.
You're a very good example how a candidate with a proper structured approach, trusting the process and believing the system can really get results. Okay, thank you very much for that hope for many of the aspirants, and I wish you really all the best in your future. I'm sure you would do great in your service.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for being here and for online aspirants. I hope if I'm able to make a little difference in your preparation, this entire the time and effort that we put here would be useful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Wasim.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Regarding the as a early foundation student, there is a lot of confusion while choosing the optional. Like you are from medicine background, there is no coming to the resources. There is no good quality of resources when compared to the other subjects like anthro and social. And one more thing, there is a lot of competition in those subjects when compared to the background subjects. So how to pick one in this scenario?
The decision of taking optional is the most important decision that you will be taking in this entire journey. Take your time, think about it, talk to a lot of people, talk to the people that have already taken that subject, analyze the trends of the examination, analyze the syllabus of those optionals. Many optionals are static in nature. Anthropology is more or less static in nature, but PSIR is dynamic. So you should choose what suits for you. Even if you do not have the background of that particular optional, this entire process of this UPSC examination will teach you that you can learn anything. Have that growth mindset that you can learn anything. Initially, I did not feel very good about humanities part of anthropology. Like I struggled a bit. But then I realized there is no way out. I had to study, I had to understand the concepts if I have to clear this examination. So that is the reality that most of us face. Ensure that whatever optional you choose, it should be once decision, like one time decision. There's no going back. Never ever think that if I have chosen this optional, this attempt, I'll be switching back to some other optional, because there's a lot of efforts that is required for preparation of optional paper, and people are doing from across domains. They are coming from engineering background, taking psychology. They are coming from humanities, taking different optionals, or they are coming from commerce background, taking geography. So the optional is such that it can be learned. The ideas or the topics or the subject content is such that it can be learned by the aspirants. It's just that you should be very much clear with your choice. Once you have made the decision, there is no going back. Before taking the decision, you have the liberty of doing everything. You can spend some time with optional. You can read 3-4 days an optional or some interesting aspect of that optional. You can switch to some other optional, read 2 to 3 days about it, or some lectures, take some lectures of it. You can talk to some people who have already cleared with that optional or are preparing with that optional, so as to get idea before you make the decision. Once the decision is made, there's no going back. Also, in the recent years, last 2 to 3 years, there has been a parity. Earlier, few optionals used to perform very well. Anthropology used to perform very well. Mathematics used to perform very well. But last 2 to 3 years, they are trying to give parity to all the papers. Earlier, geography was not doing very well, but now people are getting selected from geography, geology, psychology. So marks is one thing that needs to be counted. Second is resources. Resources is something that is of utmost importance. If you feel that certain optional is not having good resources available and you have to do a lot of your own work on going for resources, then you might keep it low on your priority, because you have limited time. Maximize your time. And in optional, if you have chosen that, okay, this is some optional that I will be going for, extensively use ChatGPT, because this has made difference in my preparation. It allows you to go behind the topics. Why this scholar has said this, or why this topic, how this concept evolved. So this will allow you, it will act as a personal mentor for you, even when their resources are not available, or when there at times ready-made notes are there, but you're not able to understand why it is written such. So use ChatGPT, especially for for these optional subjects, because more or less they are static and correct information are being provided by ChatGPT. So this decision is something that you should take with due diligence. Ensure that you have put right amount of time in deciding your optional, and once you have decided it for all out once, okay, that you will be continuing with this optional, whether you are performing well or not, whether you have to improve it. Simple as that. And optional is something that can make a huge difference. There are a lot of factors while choosing optional. Like anthropology allowed me benefit in prelims examination also. There has been a few questions in related to PVTGs and all, and there are a lot of questions like which I felt non-anthropology people might not be knowing this or might not have this idea about. Maybe not the direct question. Some options would be there which I knew. Okay, I know this. So if an optional is helping you across other subjects, it is a good optional. मतलब think practically about it. Do not be emotional कि मेरा ये background रहा है तो मेरे को इसी में जाना है. अब sir, many engineering background people do not take their engineering subject because they know they are not scoring well, or they might not give help in other papers. So be practical about it. You have to clear this exam. You do not need to become scholars and teachers and professors. You just need to know adequate information that is required to clear this examination. That's all. Be practical about it, and you can choose the option.